Lucknow Junction.
Hyderabad Punjab Express University Station, Netaji Bhavan. Hereby ध्यान दो.
देखो वो आ गया. T20 क्रिकेट है, आना ही था, आप लोगों से मिलना ही था. A lot of you wrote in letters. Nobody sent money orders, but you sent letters, text messages. Some slid into DMs and were asking where I was during the Champions Trophy. Why are you so concerned? Is it because there's so much time in that match to worry about other ancillary things? Is that why you were wondering? Well, I was busy. I was roaming around Japan. Arigato gozaimasu. But I'm back now because, hey, the circus is back in town and we love it. That's right. The IPL turns 18. It's 18 years of the IPL. I can't even believe it. It's 18. I was 5 when I did the first season. It was just, I was so young, so like wet behind the ears.
18 years older.
Yeah.
See, you already gave away your age, so you don't have to say anything. You said, Dekho, wo aa gaya, was 35 years ago.
Yeah, but listen.
And money orders stopped 48 years ago.
I completely get your point. I completely get your point. But by that logic, you're 100 because you're making us listen to songs from 1930.
I haven't even started yet.
Yeah, but I feel like they're coming.
There was no
coming. But before they come, I want to tell you that we have arrived. That's right, we have arrived. This is Cricbuzz Live. I'm Gaurav Kapur. With me, my two respected, much older brothers, Mr. Joy Bhattacharya, Mr. Harsha Bhogle. Good evening, sirs.
Good evening.
Messers.
Why are you not speaking Japanese?
I just did. I said arigato gozaimasu. Yeah.
Anymore?
Yes.
No. That is, he will say at the end.
Kemon-achin?
Sayonara. No, it's just sayonara at the end.
The Bengalis taught Japanese how to make tempura. Tempura is actually taught by fishermen, basically sailors from Chittagong.
See, this is exactly why I threw that in, because I knew there'd be some connected trivia that would come.
All the tempura, what is that? That is basically Bengali
Bhajia,
telebhaja.
pakoda,
yes,
bhaja.
Exactly, bhaja, telebhaja.
So first of all, you try and own biryani. Then you try and own tempura. What have you done on your own? Gaurav.
No, please tell us. They own everything, sir. The Bengalis, they own everything. But at this point in time, they own the trophy.
Exactly. Exactly my point.
They are defendant champions. Are the Knight Riders. And of course, very happy are all the Knight Riders fans. Though, of course, this year there will be a few differences because their mentor is not there, is coach of Indian team now. Their captain is not there, who is now in Punjab. So there are going to be a few things that are going to be different. But pehle hum thoda sa, let's do little, sir, walk down memory lane. I'll tell you why. Because I know that after a certain age, the memory starts to fade. So it's very important to commit it to something that is immortal, like on tape. That's why I want to do this exercise with the two of you.
Basically, he's telling us we'll get senile in the next couple of years, so might as well get whatever stories we want.
And he's trying to say that abhi to main jawan hu.
He's already 5
You know
years
that song?
so he's now 23 officially.
Abhi to main chota sa, pyara sa, nanna sa, bachcha hu. Tell me who's that? Joy, come on. The intellectual in you cannot answer that question. I'll be severely disappointed if you get this right.
I don't know it. Right.
I'll do it again. Can I give you one more clue?
Yeah. This is Crime Master Gogo.
Close enough.
Because he also did that in...
Shakti Kapoor from another film, but yeah, good job. Well done.
IPL is starting?
Well, in 2 days.
Okay.
We have time. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, this curtain raiser anyway goes on for 2 days. So we might as well just take some time. All right, so in our walk down memory lane, that is because the youth of today, that bunch of disappointing folk, love to watch reels. So therefore, to make those reels, I've been sent a few questions that I will be reading out now.
मैं आंसर्स लेके आया हूँ पूरे
मैं सवाल लिख के आया हूँ, ये जवाब लिख के आया हूँ.
पलीते मालूम पलीते पे लिखे लाया हूँ मैं.
Notes? Farre. It's what we up north call farre.
Yeah, farre.
That's right.
Farre is cheats, which will make...
That's what that is.
पलीते एग्जाम में लेके आते हैं ना.
What is that? Is that what it is?
सॉक्स के अंदर डाल लेके.
It's the same, right? Farre है नहीं? या notes हैं?
बोलो. हाँ.
Okay, favorite IPL batter. अभी टेम्प्यूरा की बात करें तो भी बैटर की बात करें.
Good one. That's a good one, boss. That's a really good one. It's the first good one for 25.
चलो मैं चलता हूँ. Thank you. You were a great audience. I can't do better. Good night.
AB de Villiers.
Ooh, good call. I like that.
Chris Gayle, just because he just
Because he
How
had
powerful.
3 terrible seasons with KKR.
No, and then came back and scored a century in his first match against us. Never got a century before that.
Okay, I think I will also go with Chris Gayle. It's just the kind of excitement that he brought. And just the way he came into the tournament in his 2.0 avatar.
Yes.
So I think, yeah, okay, good. Favorite bowler?
Toss-up. Can I do toss-up?
Okay.
Bumrah and Malinga.
Ooh, nice one.
Jasprit Bumrah and Lasit Malinga. Joy is saying Sunil Narine. Next question.
No. So on bowler, I wanted to go with somebody just with limited, not with limited.
You're going
not
Sandeep
with
Sharma.
I'm going Sandeep Sharma. You are
Serious?
absolutely right.
If there were points for guessing what Joy is going to say, I would win.
That's a really good guess because it's 137.
Underestimated. I think that's the word that you...
Similar to Bumrah's, no?
Yeah, record similar to Bumrah's, as record similar to even another great, which is Bhuvneshwar Kumar. And he's like, he doesn't have pace, just has movement, not great physical skills, and cannot bat. And yet, look what he's done. Look how many seasons he's played, and he's still a force. He still bowls for you. And so, that's the one great thing about the IPL. It gives you these characters who you'd never say will ever play for India.
Yeah.
But what they do on the field during the IPL is absolutely amazing. And I think Sandeep Sharma is a perfect example of that.
Okay.
Excellent. I'm going to say Yuvraj Singh with 2 hat-tricks.
Okay.
Yuvraj Singh. Rohit got 1.
Rohit got one.
Yeah, but Yuvraj with 2 is a good one.
Yeah, why not? Come on. Okay, favorite IPL moment? I don't know if you can go beyond that first game, right? Just that
First
Brendan
game.
McCullum knock, that first
There was
game.
a 23 final. There was a 19 final. 19 final last ball. 23 final last ball.
17 final also when they just couldn't make it.
The one run, right? That was with the Rising Pune, right?
Yeah.
The one run, 125 played 124.
Yeah. MI were about 30 odd for 4 and then they got to
Too many.
130.
Too many. Tewatia hitting 5 sixes.
Wow.
Okay, I'd say mine is divided between Rinku's 5 sixes because that won the match. I mean, they made that much in the last.
Rinku's.
And for me, of course, 2012. I mean, just Bravo being hit by Manoj Tiwari and just Shahrukh almost taking off from the stands. You were standing there and Jay just caught his hand. Otherwise, Shahrukh at that time thought he
was going to fly. He was going to fly from.
So he was
that was right after Ravan. So he probably thought he could, right?
Probably
from that first floor at Chidambaram, at the Chepa.
It's a good thing Jay held on to his hand.
That was a good moment. All right. Okay, this question is just for Joy.
Okay.
So that he can say, and we can guess his answer on this one. He's going to say, year 1, Knight Riders. The question, see, we're playing, what's that, Jeopardy, right? Where you have to give the question.
Correct.
So year 1, Knight Riders. The question is?
The question is, let's try and frame a question.
Yeah.
Year 1, Knight Riders. Who came up with the weirdest name for an IPL team?
Okay, that's a good one. That's
Look,
yours is?
He was also thinking of the Kolkata ball breakers. Knight Riders is much better, let's be honest.
So what's the question?
Kit.
That's
The best kit. The best kit.
Best kit.
I've been on and on about this.
Best kit IPL ever.
So I'll tell you what. 2 kits. 2009 IPL, which is a slightly more interesting one. 2008 is a straight one. 2009 is one sleeve is gold, one sleeve is black. It's an interesting kit. For the worst season, we had one of the nicest kits. And I'll go with one more. 2025 Gujarat Titans this year.
Oh.
Outstanding.
I haven't even seen the kit and he's given the answer.
Oh, sir, he has seen everything, sir. He's behind the scenes.
I like...
Sir, he's the BTS. Sir, he's the youth watching the reels.
I like RCB's red and black.
I like RCB's red.
I like the initial couple of Mumbai Indians ones, not the light ones, when they became slightly darker. But I have... At least there's a contest for this.
Yeah.
For the worst, there's no contest.
Hang on. I think I know what you're saying.
No contest.
Your city year 1? Deccan?
Deccan
year 1?
Deccan year
And
one.
the worst anthem in year 1.
Go Chargers, go Chargers.
Go. They're still saying go there.
But that's for digestion, not for no other reason.
Coach, so it's like, that's why they're telling you to go.
What great anthems we had in the first year. Ala Ray was outstanding. Kodbo Lordbo Jitbo was outstanding. And then you had Go Chargers, go.
Whistle Podu.
Go.
I don't know if any anthem really is. It's a good point about anthems, right? I mean, because we see all the anthems with, the English Premier League and, you singing, You Never Walk Alone, you're singing all these, great songs. I don't think any of those have reached that status now that people are singing in the stands.
I don't know why. See, Kolkata, Shujoy Ghosh wrote it at that time. This is the guy who, directed Kahani. The point was, you're right. Not many of them. I think actually Korbo Lorbo Jitbo is very chantable.
Yeah.
But I've never seen it as a chant.
Yeah.
You know, which is surprising because it's very chantable. Korbo Lorbo Jitbo, because it has that sort of, a lot of the others are very well produced, but a lot of songs which are good songs are not necessarily good sing-along songs.
I have a theory for that though.
Yeah.
Because I feel like all the anthems in India are made with the BPM is very high.
Yep.
So while it's good to kind of move to, dance to, and lift, pump the energy, it's never a good song to sing with the high BPM.
You're absolutely
Whereas all the Premier League anthems are slower BPM. So therefore it just makes it easier to sing as a chorus.
And why are they slow? A lot of them are also very old.
Yeah.
You know, You Never Walk Alone is from the 50s.
Correct. And people singing Sweet Caroline. Oh, that's a goosebumpy moment.
Oh.
Love that. Love it. Okay. I just suddenly like, oh no, they're talking about football again on the IPL. It's not the EPL curtain raiser, it's the IPL curtain raiser. All right. I think I wanted one last one. Did we talk about your favorite story?
My favorite story was a story Chris Gayle told me, and I will not mimic his accent.
Yeah.
Though I love the Jamaican accent. He's in a bar in Kingston.
Yeah.
Gayle in a bar in Kingston's having a good time. When his phone rings and he can barely hear who's at the other end. It's Vijay Mallya at the other end saying, "Are you fit? Can you come and play for us?"
Yeah.
He said, "Yes, but how do I get there? I don't have a visa." He said, "All that is my problem." So he lands up there. He hasn't touched a bat for ages.
Yeah.
Because he's gone unsold in the auction. See, that was the year when West Indies you thought would not play the...
Yeah, they were
players
playing a lot
not
of cricket,
available.
yeah, correct.
So he's unsold. So he's partying in Jamaica. So he goes straight from the party home, packs a few things in the bag, goes to the airport. By then, everything's organized, lands up, and hits the most unbelievable 100 against KKR, for whom he played for 3 years.
I never got a century. His highest was 86 till then.
Wow.
Comes and gets a century.
Wow. All right. That's a good story. Yours?
It's interesting. KKR people remember for the totally the wrong things. Kamran Khan. The son of a woodcutter, Azamgarh in UP, lands up, plays tennis ball cricket with those tape ball cricket.
Super over.
Yeah. Somebody sees him. They pick him up. He comes, plays the first ever super over, bowls. He wins it for them. In Cape Town, he wins it against KKR in the super over that. That's one side of it. 3 years later, in Hyderabad, we are having, KKR is playing the champions, in those days, what was Champions League. And this kid is walking up and running up, and he looks very familiar. And I realized that Kamran has come as one of the net bowlers because he wants to catch the eye of a IPL coach again. So that's the roller coaster of the IPL. From a tape ball cricket to being a hero where Shane Warne is calling him a rock star and my torpedo, my destroyer. And then 3 years later, back in the wilderness. So that's what, this IPL is this incredible tournament.
But there were so many like this, right? You talk about 80s bands and you talk about one-hit wonders.
Yeah. Paul
Valtati was the one I was going to name.
Yeah. 459 of Punjab. More than 400 runs.
Punjab. Do you remember Swapnil Asnotkar?
Yes.
Very
Goa,
much.
first year.
Yeah.
The Goa Cannon? Something like that. They called him the Goa Cannon?
Some such, yeah. Wow. So there's a lot of, I have a lot of stories that I can't tell.
Like everything else.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like all your other stories.
Yeah. I think someday I'll just write a book and then before it comes out, go to a country with non-extradition treaty.
Nowadays, it's a bit tough. If you look at the track record of people who worked with the IPL who are having, new passports, it's not that easy.
I don't think his earpiece is working because for the last 8 minutes, the producer is saying, can we talk about one of the teams?
No, we are talking about teams. We are some English Premier League teams, some football teams. They are teams though. But we can jump into the first one. We're going to start, of course, with the defending champions. So we start with the Knight Riders. My first question to you, all right? But first, the new captain, right? The question is about the captain, but let's talk about the new captain first, Ajinkya Rahane. And when the auction happened, of course, we were discussing, would it be Venkatesh Iyer because he was the most expensive buy? Would it be Ajinkya Rahane, who's one of the most experienced players there? He hasn't captained too much, but that's the kind of maturity perhaps that you need. That's the kind of calm, level-headed guy. If you need a calm, level-headed guy, there's not too many better than Ajinkya Rahane. And this is what the team's CEO had to say about Ajinkya Rahane being captain. Venki Mysore said that we're delighted to have someone like him who brings his experience and maturity as a leader. Also, Venkatesh Iyer has been a franchise player for Kolkata and brings a lot of leadership qualities. We are confident that they will combine well. as we start the defense of our title.
It's an interesting one. I'm just looking at my notes from the auction day.
Yeah.
You were the one who said, remember, Rahane?
Yeah.
You said it on the auction day.
I thought he might.
Sitting
I thought
out
he might
here
have
in
got a
this
captain.
seat, you said it.
No, I was in Perth.
You were in Perth.
I was
of
in
course.
Perth.
You were on screen.
Yep.
He was bought, Ajinkya Rahane was bought after Angakrish Raghuvanshi, Vaibhav Arora, Manish Pandey and Spencer Johnson. And he came after the auction, he was
He was a
called
callback.
back.
He was a callback.
There was a callback. My fear was that young Venkatesh Iyer at 23 crores, whatever you might say, I didn't ask for it, I can't
Plays
help
on
it.
your mind.
100% it does. The only person I know on whose mind it doesn't play is what Gaurav once said, Cricbuzz. And he's still himself.
It's true. Yeah. No pressure, man. No pressure.
So it reminds me, 3, 4, 5 years ago when they were similarly searching for a captain, and then they said, okay, Dinesh Karthik is our man.
Yeah.
So I think now they've said, okay, Ajinkya Rahane is our man, because, I mean, he's had a great Mushtaq Ali, but Shreyas Iyer was captain of Mumbai in that one. Ajinkya Rahane captained everything else. So maybe they're just hoping that he'll bring a sense of calm around, free up Venkatesh Iyer to play, whether at 3 or at 4. But Iyer is the captain in waiting. The story I heard, I don't know how true, is the reason it went up to 23 where RCB thought he was captaincy material.
Okay.
And so maybe RCB were going after Venkatesh Iyer as a captaincy candidate. So good on him. Good on him. I'm delighted for the young man.
Yeah, good player. Of course,
he was doing an MBA in finance. He'd never have got this kind of starting salary.
That's true. Or a year-end bonus. Never
But
know.
also, I think as a captain also, if you're looking at him, it's definite that they're not looking at Ajinkya Rahane and saying he's going to captain for 3 years. Yeah. They are probably saying this big money purse paid to Venkatesh Iyer, there's enough pressure on him already. Let's get this monkey off his back. Let's give someone who's seasoned captaincy charges. This is a pretty seasoned team and they've got a lot of the elements of what they had in the last few years with them. So a lot of the parts already fit. They know how they fit, you know.
My only thing with Rahane is I hope he can be a gambler.
Yeah.
Rahane
He
is
was
very-
with CSK. I remember his CSK back.
No, as a captain. He's very correct, good boy, you know, one of the finest people you'll ever meet. I just wonder whether there's enough of a gambler in him to be captain.
Yeah, his captaincy record is not that great. Remember, this is almost all with Rajasthan.
That
I mean, all with
basically
Rajasthan in one game with like...
2019 Rajasthan, and they didn't do very well. And those were not great teams. Rajasthan didn't have a lot of firepower at that point in time. But yeah, that's the one thing. And also the other big thing for KKR is there's this huge hole sitting where the opening partnership is.
Yeah.
KKR won last year because of their opening partnerships. And not having Phil Salt there and not having Sunil Narine in the kind of form. So Sunil Narine, just before this tournament, the last tournament he plays with the Abu Dhabi Knight Riders, he was batting at 7. He did not open in a single match. He was batting at 7.
Would you open Venkatesh Iyer then? Or
No,
for
I'd
3 or
open with
4?
Sunil Narine for the simple reason, before last season, I think he was averaging 3 or 4 or something. Sunil Narine doesn't bat for 10 months of the year. And then he comes to the IPL and he becomes a batter.
Yeah.
But the great thing about him as an opener is he doesn't chew up balls.
Correct.
Yeah.
So if he doesn't get a 30, 40, 50, whatever, he's gone in 2 or 3 balls.
Yeah.
So he's not chewing up, and they've got a lot of batting thereafter, including, I mean, if you include Angakrish Raghuvanshi as an impact sub, then just look what followed. There's Quinton de Kock, Ajinkya Rahane, Rinku Singh, Venkatesh Iyer, Andre Russell, Ramandeep Singh.
Yeah.
So they've got a lot of batting, so they can afford to send him as a floater. It doesn't matter if you get out.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what.
But he will open.
The great thing about Sunil Narine is he's not a reactive player. See, if you're batting at 6 or 7, you need to react. Its situation is 40 for 4. I need to defend. The situation is, whatever it is, it's 180 for 2, I'm going to swing. Here the point is that Sunil Narine he will swing regardless. So the only place you can play him is opener.
It's a successful business model. Yeah. They did this. They actually were the innovators here. They were the disruptors. They did it. And interestingly, I don't think anyone's ever followed suit. I don't think any other team has done this.
Just send out a kamikaze guy up front.
Yeah, we can just afford to lose him and that's fine. We're okay.
Lose him, yeah.
We're okay at 0 for 1. It doesn't matter to us because our opening pair will then be batting.
Correct.
Right?
Exactly.
So that kind of kamikaze, great word. Nobody else has used it.
My only concern for them is Rahane has to score runs. A captain who's not scoring runs carries a burden on himself. So Rahane has got to go and score runs. Luckily for him, he had a fantastic Mushtaq Ali. He's been batting well this year. He hasn't set the Ranji Trophy on fire, but he was batting well. But he has to score runs.
But here's another question as well, right? I know that maybe if we were in year 3 or 4, we would have said, oh my God, the captain has to play the full season. Now that we're in the 18th year, we've seen enough of... I mean, we just had a test match where the captain didn't play, right? So now that whole thing of captain spot being the first one you write, that's not that sacrosanct anymore.
No.
Yeah,
Mid-season captaincy changes have been a plenty.
It has, but the only year in which it has succeeded for you is 2013 Mumbai.
When Rohit
took
for
over.
punting.
Otherwise, you see, it hasn't been successful really. I mean, you've got Steve Smith coming in for Saurav Ganguly. You've had situations like that. But none of those have been really successful. It's been distress moves, nothing is working. So, yeah, 2013 is a great example. It's there for you. You're right, the captain is not as sacrosanct as it was, but I'll still say that the captain is more important in a 20-over match than even a 50-over match.
I agree with you, but I'm just saying that does this fact that, listen, relax, you don't have to carry extra pressure on you, bat the way you batted for CSK.
Yeah. I think they'll have...
Right, Rane should bat the way he was batting for CSK.
Exactly. And look what he said when he went to CSK. He said, MS Dhoni told me this is your role. He didn't tell me how I should bat. He said, you've been around long enough. He said, this is your role. I will judge you by this role. He was striking at 160, 170. And someone thought a doppelganger had gone out.
Yeah.
His career average is 120. He's got an interesting team. Like with every other team, they've got the players to go the distance. It's just a question of those two, Andre Russell, Sunil Narine. How much longer are they going to play? Are they still going to be key players? When they won last year, everyone talks about Salt, brilliant. Varun Chakravarti, brilliant. Those two had great seasons.
Yeah.
And he made 450 or plus runs, Sunil Narine.
And took 10 plus wickets. Yeah,
Russell was average 30, striking 180, took 17, 18 wickets as well.
Yep.
So if those two are going well, suddenly the entire balance and the power of the team changes. So those two going well, then Rinku Singh is liberated, then that Ramandeep is liberated, then suddenly your team looks very different if those two are in form.
Yeah, and what about Varun, spinning magician, who is just in the form of his life?
Form of his life. I think his form of his life, if he has good totals to bowl with, I mean, he's going to be very good, because if Kolkata puts up those 180s, 190s, with 8 overs between Sunil Narine and Varun Chakravarti, they're really going to put the brakes.
That's a big part of their team.
Yeah. So that is going to make the difference. And look at those averages. I mean, Varun is still at 8.2, but Sunil Narine at 6.68 is ridiculous. I mean, it's an average which you can't think of nowadays. I think 8.2 is quite respectable considering where Varun bowls. But 6.68 is absolutely unbelievable. It's absolutely unbelievable. And see, one more thing Kolkata has to be very careful of. Rinku Singh has, given now Shreyas is gone, Rinku Singh has to bat slightly further ahead. He can't be that finisher for them.
He played what last year? 100 balls, 113 balls last year.
He has to bat more. Because you're talking about Shreyas Iyer and, look, Shreyas Iyer is sitting out there and the way he would have looked at it is saying, I was a captain of this team and I've been a fairly successful captain. His captaincy record is pretty decent. And you had 6 people to choose and I wasn't among your top 6.
Do you think that his contribution to the win last year has not been as much as it should have been? Like he's not been given as much credit as
I think credit
should have been given?
Yeah. I definitely think so. Because if you look at his record and when we come to Delhi, we'll talk about it.
Punjab.
When we come to Punjab, we talk about he's a very successful captain.
Yeah.
And in all formats.
And that's the reason why I've given them a maybe. I think one, Gautam's mentorship. That's not going to be there.
It's a big one.
And one, Shreyas' captaincy, who I think has just been a brilliant captain last season, who's not got enough credit, gone below the radar. So I think that's why I've given them...
There's a couple of good young players. Okay, you're...
What do you think? Where is yours?
I'm going thumbs up, actually.
Yeah?
Remember that uncapped player who remained uncapped just in time for the auction?
Harshit Rana.
Harshit Rana is another seriously good player.
Yeah.
There's no stark if Spencer Johnson or if they can get someone to bowl the power play and Nokia bowls only in the middle, not at the death, in the middle and gives you wickets, I think this team has it. So I've actually gone thumbs up for this.
My biggest...
No, we didn't ask.
Yours we had anyway planted.
I don't know, but last time I said...
Yours is a PDF. We can't change it. Every year is the same.
But no, I'll tell you one thing. Kolkata will live and die. Because see, their bowlers will deliver. Bowlers do deliver.
You think?
Is their opening batting, is their top 3 batters.
Yeah.
If their top 3 batters can give them something, they'll be a formidable team. If their top 3 can't get going, they're in trouble.
And no experienced pacer, right? Last year, whatever it was, Stark was really... And that's what I think. I feel like when Stark was there, Harshit and Vaibhav, I mean, whoever your young bowlers also do better. We all know this, right? Young bowlers will always do better with like a guiding light.
You
like
think Nokia won't do that for them?
Whenever he's fit.
Yeah, but
Nokia, I mean, we can't.
he's a different
you
kind of
know what,
personality.
Also, we can't compare the the experience
right.
of Stark to
No.
Nokia.
No, that Spencer Johnson's a good bowler. But again, we've seen performances in Australia rarely correlate to performances in the IPL.
Yeah, this is
So
the
let's see how
reason
it
why
goes.
I'm going fingers crossed
Okay,
for them.
okay, okay.
So for the defending. So those are the defending champions. Well, let's move on to our next team. Who's our next team? Koi bhi le aao, I'm ready.
Aye.
All right.
Adentandi.
Sir, what did you just call me?
I said, Adenti Miru, my team Machvayaru.
Oh,
Hyderabad.
I know it's Hyderabad, but I don't. This is something.
Because Hyderabad is
In
more-
Punjabi, some things you said were not very nice. Okay?
Correct.
Correct. Okay. We're going to the Hyderabad team, and the motto that I've got for the Hyderabad team for this year is "Ab ki baar 300 par."
I know. The
It'll
track
happen.
will be like that, no doubt.
Will it happen?
I don't think so. 300 is बहुत दूर यार.
They reached what? 257, 270 or they reached?
Yeah.
They
They got 280 in one game.
280 they got.
280,
In
yeah.
Remember
Bangalore.
280 played 260?
Ah,
Yeah,
280
yeah,
Bangalore.
540 runs, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Because,
got
but that's
280.
Chinnaswamy, right? 1,000 runs can get scored.
But they've got a joker in the pack there who might take them there.
yeah.
The little fellow who will bat at number 3 this year.
Ishan Kishan? One sec. So, obviously, they've got Ishan Kishan, the team, because they didn't have enough big hitters in their batting lineup. What's going on, man? I'll tell you what Hyderabad wants to do. Hyderabad wants to get a batting lineup where bowlers from the opposite team just come and put the ball down and say, we give up. We surrender.
Surrender.
White flag. Right? Because look at their batting lineup. There's Travis Head, Abhishek Sharma, Ishan Kishan, Heinrich Klaasen, Nitish Kumar Reddy. एक जाता है, एक आता है, एक जाता है, एक आता है. There's sledgehammer after sledgehammer. What's going on?
And their opening partnerships are also just absolutely outstanding. The other very, very interesting stat which I was looking at is one of them. So Abhishek Sharma is a destroyer of spin. Travis Head in terms of strike rate against spinners, and Travis Head is a destroyer of pace.
Yeah.
So when the two of them are in the crease, I mean, you don't have an escape. You can't throw a spinner and say like Brendan McCullum, at one point they used to just, throw a spinner at him, you're going to calm him down.
Yeah.
You can't do that against this opening partnership.
And he's become a better player than last year. He's gone on and done it for India.
Yeah.
So Abhishek Sharma, you'd imagine, is actually a better player than he was last year. Klaasen hasn't scored that many. But you know what? You come to Hyderabad and you see all these guys in a town that you probably didn't even know when you started, wearing your T-shirt number 45 and all the way around. And you must think, wow, I'm somebody, right? Yeah. So if Klaasen can bat at 5, I won't be surprised if they push Nitish Reddy at 4 and keep Klaasen at 5 to finish and then liberate that Abhinav Manohar and say, you go and do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And if they can liberate Klaasen at 5 and Nitish Reddy at 4, you're right. I mean,
And look,
how do you
remember
stop?
something.
But 3 left-handers at the top?
That's true.
Whatever, yeah.
That's true. That's one. The other thing I was thinking about is that if you look at this Hyderabad side, they've actually upgraded every position. Because Abhinav Manohar, you say, okay, is he good? But remember, Abdul Samad was playing and he always promised, never really gave them that much. Ishan Kishan is an upgrade. So they've upgraded all the way. And Henrik Klaasen is the highest paid retained player.
Yes.
23 crores. He's the highest paid retained player. So you have two devastating guys against spin.
What about their bowling? I mean, a lot of people will talk about their batting, and rightfully so. I mean, they showed it last year. But look what their bowling lineup is this season. And that's where it gets really interesting because the sheer variety that
All
they
of
have.
them. Also, see, Shami Bhuvanesh will say, oh, this is an equal. I'd say Harshal Patel is an upgrade.
On Natarajan, you think? Okay.
24 wickets, purple cap last year.
Yeah,
Rahul Chahar over Mayank Markanday, those two, if you remember for a long time, Mumbai, Chahar replaced Markanday in Mumbai, in the Mumbai team, in the Mumbai 11. Marco Jansen and Mulder, of course, I'd say that Marco Jansen.
I think number 6 is equal.
Zampa. Big.
Number 6 is equal, yeah? Number 6 is equal. Jaydev Unatkar to Jaydev Unatkar?
Yeah, I just think Washington Sundar is a loss, but they were not using him anyway.
Yep.
So it doesn't matter. Harshal Patel Natarajan is a draw for me. I think Shami is up over Bhuvaneshwar because I think Bhuvaneshwar is on the tail end of his career and he's gone off somewhere else. Adam Zampa is a big plus. And this will be the first time we're going to get two outstanding world-class spinners who will probably play every game. Mitch Santner for Mumbai and Adam Zampa here. So if you look at the structure of that side, Adam Zampa can play every single game because they've got their overseas players are Head, Klassen and Cummins. So, I mean, Vian Mulder is a come down over Janssen. But he's a very decent player. But they don't,
in either case, he might not play if Zampa's playing. Right?
So they'll want to play Zampa.
So that's your 4 overseas there. And you have enough Indian bowlers.
Shami, Harshal, Rahul Chahar.
Shami, Harshal play every game. Rahul Chahar plays.
If you're playing on a slow deck, and there'll be a few slow decks, you can play Unadkat. If you want someone to bowl in the power play, that Simarjeet is a pretty good bowler. And Nitish Reddy becomes your 6th bowler. Then Abhishek Sharma has become much more of a bowler than he was last year.
Correct.
So he will be your 6th and 7th bowler.
Travis Head bowls.
Yeah, but I think here Abhishek might be sort of one up over Travis Head as a bowler. Left-hander. So I won't be surprised if Abhishek bowls that first over like they normally get one out early. So I think they've got enough bowling. The only question is on those flat decks. Who bowls at the death? Because Harshal at the death on a flat deck, he can be expensive, but you only got to concede less than what you scored.
That's right. And in Hyderabad's case, well, they're going to score so much that, well, the bowlers will have a very good chance to concede less than what they've scored. But the one question about Ishan Kishan, do you remember every year we have this PTP 11? There's the point 11.
Absolutely.
Ishan Kishan's right up there.
He's a candidate. Definitely a candidate.
Right
I hope he does. I hope he does. Because he's gone down the rankings. He's now below Sanju Samson, he's below Dhruv Jurel, he's below Rishabh Pant.
Jitesh Sharma.
So he's really slipped down. And there's a question mark in the eyes of some about his attitude. I don't know enough to know whether that was right or wrong. But PTP, correct?
Point to prove,
Right on top. Right on top. If he gets going, then he's just going to lift that side. Remember, he got a double 100 in a one-day international, 120, 130 balls. That's what he can do when he gets going on that Hyderabad deck. So
apparently in the practice matches, he's been
hammering in the plus.
He's had many runs over there. So that'll be an interesting one to watch out for as well. अगर उसका चांस आएगा तो
करेक्ट
अगर ट्रेविस हेड और अभिषेक ने सारे रन बना दिए तो ये क्या बनाएगा बट there's a solid batting, solid bowling, solid thumbs up for SRH. I think we got all three.
100%.
All three. Unanimous verdict.
Yes.
The verdict is the unanimous.
The only problem with SRH is the last 2 years, when I said definite yes, they didn't qualify. And when I said no, they qualified.
So there's been a lot of social media, everyone on social media saying, Harsha, please, all of you, please give thumbs down because that's the only way.
Nakko chadao. I'm getting responses already.
I tell you what you can do, all of you, but just turn your phone upside down. It'll look like 3 thumbs down. Okay? Turn your screen. Well, but it just looks like they're looking like favourites. I hope that we've not jinxed it. But if we can jinx it, sitting in our studio, then we're sitting on something a lot more lucrative than just being on television.
Jinxing it for their sake, exactly.
I'm just saying, that could be very lucrative. Ka-ching. Okay, let's look at our next team. We've got the Royals, the Rajasthan Royals here. The big news for them, of course, is that their captain will not be captaining in the first few games. He will be playing, but not captaining.
Which means they'll use him as an impact sub.
Because I think his finger's not recovered fully yet. He had surgery on his finger. So maybe they don't want to risk it while fielding the slips or keeping whatever. So luckily they've got an outstanding keeper as a backup. So Dhruv Jurel can keep. And I think Sanju Samson will become the impact sub.
So then they will have 5 bowlers, 5 batters and their captain, Riyan Parag. Yes, Joy?
Yeah, absolutely.
You will never let him live it down. You never let him live it down.
I mean, exactly.
And you've not met Riyan Parag after that either, I'm sure.
It is the most... No. The point is that at least he knows who I am.
But in all fairness, I have to tell you, I saw last season when Riyan was doing well, Joy was very happy.
Yes.
Right? Because at the end of the day, all of us love to see players with potential deliver on their potential. Right? And he really delivered on his potential. And I mean, yes, it's taken long, but it's the classic adage, right? Der hai durust hai.
I only hope he's not played a lot of cricket because of injury this year. I only hope he's match fit enough to come and deliver. He made 550 plus runs last year batting at 4. And then he got picked for India and he played the same way for India that he played for Royals. He didn't say, I'm now playing for India, let me play a certain way. He played with the same carefree approach. So at number 4, if he's doing that, plus captain in front of his home crowd.
Yeah.
Sam in Guwahati, it'll be amazing.
Guwahati. Riyan Parag from Guwahati, captain there. So I really hope he does well. And I hope he bowls a little bit as well.
Well, he does bowl that below the sea level stuff that he bowls sometimes. He comes in with his
He
Kedar
has
Jadhav
to
action.
give them 2-3 overs because this time they really don't have bowling depth. The Ashwin Chahal days are over.
Yeah.
And you're looking at this bowling attack and you're saying this is a bowling attack that had a
But
lot.
Joy, there's Jofra Archer. There's your best ever IPL player immediately after him in Sandeep Sharma.
Yeah.
That Tushar Deshpande, Akash Madhwal have both had good seasons, one for CSK and one for MI. Kumar Kartikeya can bowl. They're okay. It's just that with Hasaranga, Tikshana, Archer, you've got 3 slightly, and maybe that's the reason
prone.
you were not too sure.
Yeah,
slightly temperamental.
I'll tell you one more thing. Here's my belief. I believe Rajasthan is suffering from what I call the IKEA effect, which is that your own players you tend to overrate. Just like, IKEA, because you build the furniture yourself, you tend to give it more value than it actually has.
Oh, yo.
So, it's true though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the thing is, they have paid the maximum for retention.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes.
They have paid 79 crores for retention. Okay? Now, if you look at those players, 18 crores, Jaiswal, Sanju Samson, they are your marquee players. But Riyan Parag has also got 14. Okay? You're talking about Dhruv Jurel has also got 14. So you're talking about Shimron Hetmyer has got 11 crores. That's a lot of money for Shimron, who's really, has been a destroyer at times. But what I'm trying to say is that if I had 11 crores in the market, could I have picked up an option to Shimron Hetmyer? Is Dhruv Jurel was 14 crores? So
You know what I
when they
thought,
went
Joy?
in, that because they paid that much money, they didn't get that much money on their bowling.
I think Joss Butler would happily have taken 14.
Exactly.
And Dhruv Jurel would happily have taken 8 or 9. Happily would
Exactly,
have
and
taken 8
that's-
9. And they would have got Jurel. You see what Samson has said. Samson went up to Butler and said, I still can't get my head around the fact that you won't be playing for us this year.
Yeah.
So I think Butler's going to be a big miss there because don't forget, Butler's very burdened these days. As England captain, all that's coming. He's resigned midway through a tournament. We're talking about quitting midway through a tournament.
Yeah.
And he can come here and just feel free.
Yeah.
So I think that's a big miss. And so whoever bats 3 for them will have a big part to play. And I was just trying to see who bats 3 for them. And I've settled on Nitish Rana.
It's interesting, right? Because, look at the opening combination, one of the best.
It could rival Head and Abhishek. by
Yeah,
the way.
it's your India openers, right? Effectively, India openers in T20. You can have,
So your
them.
top 5 batters are all Indian. And maybe Hetmyer at 6. That's how they'll do it and then pack it with bowlers, international bowlers.
Let's look at, that's the thing with their bowling. I feel like their bowling, let's look at what their spin options are here, right? You have...
Hasaranga Tikshana.
Yeah, now again, I'm worried about Hasaranga because
Correct.
we haven't seen him. Injury, no injury, I'm not completely sure. Then Tikshana.
Remember, Hasaranga gets picked to avoid the ban in a game he was never going to play.
Remember?
Remember
Yeah,
that story?
Yeah.
But Hasaranga Tikshana, now if you want to leave one of them aside, you've only got Kumar Kartikeya. There is...
The spin,
there's one more
that's what I'm saying.
spinner
Riyan
somewhere,
Parag has to bowl.
Yeah.
Riyan has to bowl for them. At least 2-3 overs. He doesn't need... Nitish and Riyan both have to bowl for them.
They also
If they
have a
can
player-
get 4 overs between them.
They also have a player who's younger than the IPL. Apparently needs a note from parents to play the
Did you say
evening game.
apparently for his age or apparently for the note?
Apparently for the note.
Okay.
Age is apparently anyway in North.
But he's apparent... 27th March 2011. That means about 10 days before the IPL and before the World Cup. He was born 2011, 27th March.
Wow. So he's not seen the Royals win the title.
I know.
Not live.
Yeah,
he's seen,
exactly.
He's seen highlights, but he's not seen. But so I think that's why I'm giving them a...
But Sanju's
giving
given
them a maybe.
Sanju's given him a big rap. I saw him hitting 6s. And I thought when I was 13 and I was hoping to make it into my school team, how far was I hitting the ball with those bats that we used to have?
Yeah.
He was hitting the ball out of the stadium.
Was that under-19 match?
The one before that. But even in the under-19, he got 100. Hitting the ball out of the stadium at 13.
These kids, I tell ya. These kids, I tell ya.
So don't be surprised they push him up at 3. I'm talking to Nitish Rana. Don't be surprised they push him up at 3 and say, go kid, go.
Yeah, could be.
Run, Lola, run. Go.
Be. Also, I think now, but see, I'll tell you, now they've gone back to, say, Dravid is now the coach. So Dravid may be a slightly more conservative
Yeah,
coach.
but Dravid also was coach when we played the T20 World Cup, which was a go kind of World Cup. So you never know.
Yeah. So
Is he the only
where do you
coach
see-
who's come in getting hurt while playing cricket?
Yeah,
Third division cricket with his son.
with his son, yeah.
Oh, really?
He went and played third division cricket with his
He
son.
came in with crutches.
He's on crutches.
Wow. I got injured in that game.
Either that or some game. Basically, when you cross 50, you must start watching.
Unless you're Sachin Tendulkar.
What is the man doing?
Yeah.
Did you see the shots?
Yeah.
Unbelievable at this age.
Practicing long before that. He's got a net in his house. He went and started hitting the ball
was
and hitting the post,
unbelievable.
saying, "My best friend is here, his bat."
Yeah, I think
Sure.
that knowing him, he probably has practiced more for that Legends tournament than a lot of these IPL players have practiced for. Yes, knowing him,
Yeah.
he would do that. Okay, so for you,
I'm not sure. I'm sort of.
I feel the balance, I don't feel it's a balanced side at this point.
Also, will they play the second half well? They always play the first half well.
yeah,
Have they won enough in the first half to counter a second? Joy's got straight down.
yeah.
Okay.
I want to see which ones you go down for. Because you guys will have to go down for some.
We are fattus, yeah, you know us. We are big fattus. Even the one we want to say no, we are like, oh, please, we hope we make it and all.
What
We
I
hope-
want to
all
see-
angelic and all that.
What I want to see, last year Joy had two teams making the semi-final.
No, I said 2 sureties. And I said of the others, 4 of these are the sort of crossed fingers and 2 of those should make it.
Let's say, which were your 2 sureties last year?
One of them was MI.
I just want to see
The
whether
other one
they-
made it. The other one made it. I think the other one made it. One of them was MI. Which, I mean, how was I to know with that team? they
People
could
have
mess it
done
up?
worse, Joy. People have done worse. The player I picked to take the most wickets in the Champions Trophy did not play a single game. Harshdeep Singh.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
So don't worry, people have done worse.
Yeah, well, happens.
Okay.
Okay, let's move to the team that I'm just going to call 1818. That's right. Think about it. 18th season, number 18. Hoga, sir.
Sir,
Sir, hoga, sir.
Sir.
Is saal. Hoga, sir.
the first IPL match which he also played was on the 18th of April.
Oh, really?
Yes, it was.
But that was first, na, sir. It was first.
2008.
And?
And we know what happened there.
Go on.
No, nothing more.
Okay.
What happened? Brendan McCullum happened. We all know. We saw. But now, sir, 18th year, number 18, it's going to happen. I think it's going to
You
happen.
made half our control room very, very happy.
Out of control room it has become now.
Second good one. Boss, you're on a roll. Go to Japan more often.
You know what? I would happily do the show from there. I would just love to live there. It's that kind of country. But yeah, I think. What do you think about their chances?
Always a lot of talk.
Yeah.
But there'll be a lot of pressure on Rajat Patidar. Huge amount of pressure on Rajat Patidar for 2 or 3 reasons. One is the most incredible fan base. And that could be a strength as well because they never pull you down. It's a strange fan base. Even if you're doing badly, they still back you. It's a dream fan base. But there's the pressure of this largest fan base in Indian cricket. But also he's got 2 very strong people around him. And if Virat Kohli may not be captain, but all eyes are always on Virat Kohli.
Yeah.
He may not be captain, but he'll be the leader.
Yeah.
And there's Andy Flower, who's a very tough guy around him. So in between all this, suddenly Rajat Patidar has to be captain.
Yeah.
And he has to score a lot of runs. Luckily, he did well last year. He's an incredible player. He's got to score a lot of runs himself. But it's his captaincy. Everybody is watching Patidar. And I can promise you, the camera on Patidar, it'll cut to Kohli. Camera will be on Patidar, it'll cut to Kohli. So how Kohli reacts to Patidar will make a big difference. He started off very well. Kohli introduced him as saying he's a great guy, please back him and whatever. And Kohli himself rates Patidar as a player.
Yeah.
But there's going to be a lot of pressure on Rajat Patidar.
I think as that big brother figure, we've seen enough of these, right? We've seen enough of a new captain and a former captain or a senior player still being in the team. We've seen it enough with India. We've seen it enough with IPL teams. Dime a dozen, right?
Tendulkar, Saurav, I mean, you look at it when
We've
Saurav
seen
first became captain.
Plenty, or when MS became captain, or even when Virat became captain with MS still in the
Yeah,
team.
exactly.
I think that at this point in time, Virat with that big brother role and just the stuff that he said about Rajat Patidar, I think that behind the scenes, Patidar would have been made comfortable enough to take that pressure off him and to know that I've got a Brahmastra in Virat and I'm using him like that.
And the pressure, basically, the idea is not to take the pressure of Rajat, it's to take the pressure of Virat.
Yeah.
So, and allow Virat to play freely and say, okay, you just go and play there. Just also remember, Rajat Patidar has had an outstanding Syed Mustaq Ali tournament. He took them to the finals against Mumbai, scored 88. They just missed out by 5 runs, led them to a win against Delhi in the semi-finals. He got 66 odd. And he captained them. He captained a very, very less regarded side right up to the tournament, right up to the final. So he's got captaincy chops, okay? He's got a great support team. I think the crucial thing right now is, one is, for Virat, it's about Rajat taking the captaincy burden of him and Phil Salt taking the attacking burden of him. Because Kohli will not want to go bang from the start.
They've picked a team to play at RCB for that variant. The only thing, just to end this story on Virat and Rajat, I don't know what went into making Patidar the captain. Whether Kohli was asked and he said no, whether Kohli wanted to be captain. If Kohli wanted to be captain, then there's an issue. But if Kohli no longer wanted to be captain and he said, no, I'm part philosopher, part cricketer these days anyway. So, young man, you leave me alone. I'll go and open the batting and give you 700 runs like I did last year. That'll be the best scenario for RCB. And they've packed their team with people to bat on that track. The only problem and the other issue with Rajat Patidar is somehow he has to make that a fort. No. He has to make that a citadel. He has to make that a strong point.
A stronghold.
Stronghold.
That's
right. He has to make that a stronghold.
Can't be using the F word around here.
A bastion.
Because everybody likes playing there.
A stronghold. I like stronghold.
Yeah. Stronghold.
A castle.
A keep.
A keep. What?
Yeah, you have more.
No, no, no.
A keep is also a castle. It's another name for a castle.
That's right, it is.
Okay.
It is.
But
He's talking Game of Thrones now.
because both of us were looking at you and thinking where you were going. But that's okay.
Sir, we don't want to know after hours, sir.
Keep, not kept.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Gotta keep them
But
kept.
there's a lot of players in there who have promised a lot but not delivered.
Yeah, let's have a look at that. Okay, you obviously have Virat opening with Salt, and that's a deadly combination there. You have Jitesh Sharma who's come into the team. Love watching him bat.
Yes.
Right? There
The
is
return of Devdutt Padikkal. Padikkal back to, and remember, he
Does
had
he
a
bat at 3?
sensational season.
Yeah, but does he bat at 3?
If they have to bat him, they have to bat him at 3.
Now I'm super interested with Tim David. Tim David is a gun T20.
Correct.
Tim David's your number 5. Tim David plays.
No,
right?
no, I think they play Livingston at 5.
Yeah.
Because they have to have a Maxwell in their team. No, so they've taken out Maxwell and got a Maxwell from England in the side.
But here's my question, right? Because Josh Hazelwood is definitely playing.
Correct.
Right? Are you playing 3 foreign batters then? Because Salt is playing, Tim David is playing.
Tim David, I'm saying Bethel is a bigger chance than David.
They could play Bethel for David because he'll give you a bit of left arm spin, or they could play Bethel instead of Livingston. Because
you think that Tim David would not play?
so then Tim David also plays, Bethel plays for Livingston, and if they are on a track where they need an extra seam bowler, they can then play Romario Shepherd in that number 7 position. So they've given themselves enough powerful options. Now they've got to find bowlers who can on that track.
Now let's look at their bowlers. You've got Josh Hazelwood, right? You look at Bhuvi, right?
He must be thinking in my last years, why am I bowling on that track?
Chinnaswamy, fair, good point.
Hazelwood, Bhuvi, Yash Dayal, who's
Rasikdar, they rate Rasikdar a lot.
Yeah, Yash Dayal retained player, Rasikdar.
Yeah.
4.
Yash Sharma, who's done well with his headband
With
in
Kolkata.
Knight Riders whenever he's played.
Okay.
I also like Krunal Pandya's bowling.
And that's it.
Clever.
But the spin ends there.
Yeah.
The spin ends there. So if you're playing on a slowish deck, Krunal Pandya has to be a 4 overs bank. He's hardly ever been a 4 overs bank. Some days he bowls 4, but he's always been very good in a team of 6 bowlers.
Yeah.
So he has to bowl 4 overs every game. But in this lineup, he can actually bat at 8.
Yeah.
With all the power in the top 7. So my only concern for this side is spin bowling.
Yeah.
What happens when they travel? And on that track, I mean, they don't use spin. And when they use spin, it goes for a lot of runs. So that is the only thing they have to worry about. And otherwise, I think they've got the players. Yash Dayal, Rasik Salam, these are all good bowlers.
Yeah. I think Livingston will play first 11. I think they rate him, and remember,
They have to play him because he's Maxwell reincarnated in England.
exactly.
He gives you a lot of hope.
And he'll give you that Sachin Tendulkar type of bowling. You know, he'll bowl in
But
swing.
Joy,
he'll
he
bowl.
gives you a lot of hope. At the end of the season, you're still searching for the hope. I mean, he's a phenomenal player for Punjab. He actually did very well. He's a fabulous player.
Yeah.
But he just goes through these phases when he does something weird.
Yeah.
But he can be a turnaround player for them. He has a good season, batting in that middle and bowling his legs break, off break. He can be a key player for them.
Yeah, so I mean, you can tell from what I'm saying that mine is a thumbs up.
I'm a thumbs up on RCB this year.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not.
No? What are you?
Take a look.
Are you a fingers crossed or you're a thumbs down? You're a thumbs down?
I don't think.
Sir, I just have
Joy is 2-2.
I just have one piece of advice for you. Just disconnect your social media. Just disconnect it and just take it out like that. Just take the wire out of your Twitter. Just take it out. Yeah. Just delete the app on your phone right now. I'm not saying put off your notifications. First of all, anyway, your notifications start beeping because your phone must be on. Ringer must be on. I'm surprised it hasn't rung yet.
You're not watching this program today?
Yeah. I was trying on the side.
As you are well aware, Joy likes watching the show while he's on live just so that he can get instant feedback from himself. He's our Christopher Nolan.
Yeah, exactly. it's screens within screens. Yeah.
Yes, I don't know what's going on. But I think you should just pull the wire out. And then throw the phone into the ocean. Throw it. Eat the SIM card.
Destroy it, you know.
भाई इनका phone microwave में डाल दो. 30 seconds. डाल दो.
What is Joy on about? Tuck, tuck, tuck. Oh, they started coming already.
By the way, I just want to tell you, what is Joy on about would be the most polite feedback you would get for that thumbs down.
There's already...
But I love the fact that you stand by the courage of your convictions. There is a reason why you've given a thumbs down. Tell us that reason now and redeem yourself.
No, my reason is simple. I feel that they will not travel well.
You're letting him sink deeper and deeper.
And he's at least...
You're supposed to be his friend.
I'm just saying it's not a whim. It's his analysis.
See,
It's fair.
I feel they won't travel well. B is that they don't win as many matches at home
Because
as
everyone
most of the
likes to
teams.
play at their ground.
Yeah.
So that's basically my point. And I like the team, but look, there are very few IPL. I'll tell you one thing. At the end of the auction, I promise you, 2025 auction end, every team owner is sitting in his room and all these guys around him saying, what a team you have. And you look at the list, all of them have potential match winners.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just that, you look at it one particular day, suddenly you look at it and say, okay, it's not working together. It's not clicking together.
It's just that. I'm telling you, it's a dose of magic. It is angel dust that does it. Everyone's got good players. Everyone is going to make a great 11. They're going to have a good impact player for bowling or batting. They're going to have a great 12. That's going to happen. It's going to be just that little bit of magic dust. And that magic dust is 18-18.
Yes. Acha, just can you close
Mahal.
that door?
Yeah.
Because the moment he said down, apparently all our RCB producers want to storm our studio to take
They're
him out.
outside.
I think...
We were talking about Game of Thrones. You're going to be standing there. Who door? Who door? Who door? Game of Thrones fans. This is one thing that was not there on my curtain raiser bingo card. That I'd be saying Hodor, Hodor. One second. आपने नहीं देखा ना Game of Thrones? आपकी शक्ल से पता चल रहा है आपने नहीं देखा.
अच्छा खासा चल रहा था मेरी तरफ कहीं को आया.
क्योंकि उनके होडोर के रिएक्शन से मुझे पता चला कि उन्होंने देखा. आपने नहीं देखा है. आपको देखना चाहिए सर. थोड़ा you'll have to have adult supervision because there are some bits in it which are for your young eyes are not appropriate. But otherwise, I think you should watch it. It's great.
आपने बैजू बारा देखी है?
बिल्कुल देखिए सर. भाई जो उसका Game of Thrones से क्या लेना देना?
I'm trying to tell you that each person sees pictures of his own vintage. I was pulling my own leg so you can change your...
I like this jump.
सर मैं आपको एक ट्रिविया क्वेश्चन पूछता हूँ. बैजू बावरा बोला है इन्होंने. I'll ask everybody there. Very famous character called Baiju Bombay was in which movie? बताओ. थोड़ा भेजो ट्विटर पे. You can't tag Joy because he's disconnected his Twitter, but you can tag Harsha and me. Baiju Bombay, and I'll give you another clue. And his buddy Johnny Jhansi. Chalo. That's how much I like.
This sounds like a Sriram Raghavan film.
Confuse हो गए हो सर आप. Confuse आ गए हैं. कोई बात नहीं.
गली बॉय टाइप.
अगली टीम पे नहीं.
नहीं.
पीछे जाइए सर. बहुत पीछे.
बहुत पीछे छोड़ो.
बहुत पीछे.
Not Bombay to go.
नहीं CS.
आराम से थोड़ी देर में. Hello, myself Baiju Bombay. I'm Johnny Jhansi.
बोली दो ना.
Confuse कर दिया लोगों को. तो थोड़ी देर बाद बताऊंगा सर.
Okay.
थोड़ी देर बाद. Next team, come in. Let's talk about Whistle Podu.
Yellow.
Can you? City बजा?
हाँ बजाओ.
वो बजा सकते हैं City?
City बजाओ.
वो बजाओ. कोई नहीं.
All is well.
नहीं छोड़ो रहने दो.
City बजाओ.
City बज गई.
That is the...
That's a
that is
cop out.
Yeah. Expectations were here.
There's a saying for that, na? Khoda paar nikla chuha. ये पता नहीं सीटी थी या मेरी हवा निकल रही थी. It's a bit like that. All right, बस इस ये टीम सीटी बजाएगी कि इनकी हवा निकलेगी इस साल. Let's have a look at what their squad is, because as usual they do what they do. They like getting players back, so they've got a lot of their squad looks familiar. That always does end up looking, Harsha.
It's a slightly Beju Bavra squad.
But that's every year, isn't it?
Dhoni, Ashwin, Jadeja, Conway. Conway is actually not. Conway is not.
No, Conway is also 34.
Yeah, he's 34.
Oh.
Yeah. So there's not a...
I mean, other than Noor Ahmed, everyone is quite...
It's not a young squad for sure.
We talk about throughout this IPL, as you go through teams, you look and say, what power in the batting.
Yeah.
You look at this team and say, this is a proper bowling side.
Yeah.
It's a proper bowling side because they've got two fine Indian bowlers in Khalil Ahmed and Anshul Kamboj. I don't know if Kamboj will get a game. Then there's Patirana. Patirana of CSK, completely different beast from Patirana of Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
Then they've got Ashwin, Jadeja, Noor Ahmed and Sam Curran.
Yeah.
So they can play 7 proper bowlers in the side. I think, and I said that in the blogs, on the pre-tournament blogs, what is Dhoni going to do? Is Dhoni going to be a 50-60 ball batter? Then they have a problem, in which case they have to play him and drop a bowler. If he is good enough to bat at 7, then suddenly the whole side opens and they can play as much bowling as they want. Maybe they can play Curran as well. Their story is going to be, do I play Rachin Ravindra or do I play Sam Curran, assuming I want to play Noor Ahmed?
Yeah. Let's see their... that's the interesting one, right? Their foreign picks, because they're definitely going to play Noor. The way they went after him in the auction.
Exactly.
He's definitely part of that.
So Patirana, Noor look sureties.
One of the two Kiwis and Curran.
If
play
they,
both the
see,
Kiwis,
here's the
then
thing.
no
They're
Curran.
both fighting... In my book, they're both fighting for one spot.
Which is Ravindra and
the
Conway,
opener.
right?
Yeah,
Could
Ravindra
well
and
be.
Conway are both...
You know, Ravindra's the interesting one.
Let's call him Rachin, because there's
Yes.
2 Ravindras there.
Rachin is the interesting one.
Yeah.
His ICC ODI record is, he scored more hundreds than anybody else in New Zealand. His ODI record is fantastic. His T20 record for a player who's as good as he is very strange. So I don't know whether they'll say we'll still go with Conway. Knowing CSK, Conway is just sort of made for CSK.
Yeah.
So I think they'll start with Conway.
Because yes, you've got a good point with I mean, Rachin Ravindra would be handy for any other team because of the bowling that he brings in, but they don't need it.
No.
They don't need that bowling. They rather need the solid opener that they need.
What they might
they've got trusted Gaikwad and Conway combination.
What they might do if they're travelling and they don't need that additional spin bowler, they might leave Noor out or maybe someone out while travelling and play Ravindra and ask him to go freely. But this graphic is so interesting, Joy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And remember one thing, forget about everything else. If you look at it, the seasons where their batters have not, the upfront have not scored upfront, they have not done well. There's one more point to it. I want to add one more point to it. CSK in the first 10 seasons, they never did not qualify. So CSK has actually become human in the last 5-6 years.
Yeah.
They've become beatable, they've become human. And at one time, traveling to CSK, there was an aura. And I remember in the early days of the IPL, you're traveling to Chennai, the match is gone. I mean, if you can get a match out...
I mean, you enjoyed the breakfast, you enjoyed the food, whatever.
Yeah, you ate your dosas and came back. Yeah. And now, suddenly, you're looking at them and saying that they're vulnerable. And I feel that's one more thing. The second thing is, you look at that outfit that they're going to put out there. This is not the greatest, a team with Ravindra Jadeja, but it's not the greatest fielding team on earth. It's got a lot of aged legs out there if you're going to play Ashwin. So there's Ashwin, Noor Ahmed, who's not known as the best of fielders. Patirana is not known as the best of fielders. You've got a lot of people out there who you're going to find difficult to play. You have Rahul Tripathi, who's fast on the field.
My feeling is they'll play Sam Curran as a batter in the middle. And he's come off a fantastic T20 franchise season. Yeah. And I cannot for the life of me imagine how England picked Jamie Overton over Sam Curran. To me, I mean, I'm just saying...
And why did they not bring him to Dubai? I mean,
maybe they just see a different game than I do. I think there's no comparison of the player. Maybe there's some other issues other than pure playing skills. They want someone who bowls fast. Whereas this guy's a skiddy, take pace of 128, 130 kind of
Which would have been great for the Champions Trophy.
Yes.
From
and will be great in Chennai.
Yeah.
Will be great in Chennai. A guy who can bowl 4 overs there in Chennai, who can bat anywhere from 4 to 7. I see him as having a very good year for Chennai. But as he said, the openers. You see all the great CSK teams: Murli Vijay and Matthew Hayden, Murli Vijay and Michael Hussey, Brendan McCullum and Dwayne Smith, Faf du Plessis and Ruturaj Gaikwad. They've always, whenever they've done well, they've had solid openers.
Yeah.
Even that season that they won, I think Conway was player of the match in the final when they won when Jadeja got those runs.
23.
Yeah. So I just think when the openers do well, it gives them the freedom to do whatever they want thereafter.
Yeah.
So that'll be the key. When
So who opens for you? Rituraj
and Conway for me.
Rituraj and Conway for you?
Yeah.
Okay. Because there are other, then Tripathi at 3.
Tripathi at 3. But now what happens is they've got to play a Vijay Shankar or a Hooda or somebody at 4, unless they push Karan up to play. But my feeling is they'll have to play a second India batter there. Either a Vijay Shankar or a Deepak Hooda.
But again, Vijay Shankar could rediscover himself. Given this is
hasn't had a great first class season. Neither of them have had a great domestic season.
Yeah. I just think that the point that you made, Joy, that immortal tag that they had for the playoffs, I feel that veneer has just kind of gone off a bit.
Yeah, and see, the other thing somebody had suggested on Twitter, I think it was somebody called Tejasvi Srivastav. Interesting. He said that, can you have a situation where, say, Ashwin comes in, bowls his overs, and then Dhoni plays the rest of the match. So you do it in such a way that, Dhoni and Ashwin are not on the field together. So one is an impact sub for the other.
So Ashwin bowls out 4 overs with someone else keeping.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because you don't need to have...
But you want to have MS...
Exactly.
MS,
the emotional thing is about...
No, but even practically speaking, right? MS as keeper, field setter, angles...
As field setter...
Just the input he has from that vantage point that he has, you can't do without that.
Even now, you're right. At 43 also...
always, like we've been saying every year, like he's almost your default fielding captain. Right? He's almost your default fielding captain.
How often does Ruturaj field in the deep?
Yeah.
All the time. Ruturaj is in the deep.
He can field in the deep because you've got supercomputer behind the stumps.
No, you're right. You're right. I think it doesn't make sense because... And he's fit enough at 43 to keep. I mean, whether he can run around the field or not, he can keep.
The story I heard about MS, and I don't know if it's true again, these things keep whispering around, is that he purposely batted late last year, down the order, because he wanted to give Dubey and Jadeja the best chance of breaking into the T20 World Cup team.
Okay.
So that is a story I heard. I don't know how true it is. But if you look down that lineup, there's a lot of left-handers in there.
Yeah.
And that is something they'll have to find someone to find right-handers coming in between. There's a lot of left-handers. Dubey, Jadeja, Karan, everyone. All that middle is full of left-handers.
Yeah. Yeah. So is the top. If you have Conway, you have Rachin if you play.
If both play, yes.
Those are all lefties. So did you say that Tejasvi Yadav sent you this from... Bihar?
No.
Srivastav.
No.
Okay, sorry.
Tejasvi used to play cricket for Delhi.
I know.
We had one time.
That's what, so it made sense.
No, Tejasvi Srivastav is one of Joy's names that wins the quiz.
That's right. Even that account. Now don't start trolling that account, RCB fans. Don't do that. No. Poor guy.
No, he's going to be trolled by CSK also now.
Guys might have forgotten. They might have come on late to the program and not realized. You just had to bring it back for them, right?
Yeah.
No, but he's going to be trolled by CSK as well. He's going to be trolled by all CSK fans.
Sir, basically, what you are doing is that in the south, simply south, you are not doing well, sir. Last year, Hyderabad, sir, this year, Bangalore and Chennai. What are you doing, sir?
Not that Rajasthan fans are very happy with me, sir.
Sir, why are you doing like this, sir? Why Gurgaon people have problems, sir? Hey, Gurgaon people have too much problems, sir.
Look, I'll make you a 29th state, okay?
You'll make me a 29th state?
I'll just do it.
It's me. Yeah. I think I would like to declare my independence. I'm going to do that. I declare my independence. I shall not be paying taxes from tomorrow. I am done.
He wants to make Vietnam...
Tariffs. I'm going to impose tariffs on you. You both are now going to get biryani with aloo.
Chance hi nahi.
Big man. Perfect.
See, I can understand if you say Puchka and Bengal, I can understand. Jhalmudi, Bengal, I can understand.
Yeah.
Or you say Shandesh. Rasgulla, you can't because ODIs claim that. Yeah. Shandesh and this thing I can understand. Tempura also I can understand. But biryani, nahi.
I mean, I have 3 words for you. Arsalan, Shiraz, Royal.
Arsalan?
Shiraz, Royal.
Shiraz is a wine. Shiraz is a wine.
3 best restaurant Kolkata, I can say. Khub bhalo.
But biryani, yaar, too much kar rahe hain? You take whatever you want, but this is puchka. Chalo, Kolkata ka puchka.
The battle of the biryanis.
No, there is no battle. This is like saying India-Pakistan is a contest and it's 15-1.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a contest. There is no battle here. There is no battle.
Harsha. Biryani, meat. Taste meat, then speak.
But if you're in
What is biryani without meat is pulao. Don't call it biryani.
I've known this, man.
So,
I've
proof
known
of the
this.
pudding and the biryani is in the eating. If you haven't eaten a
known
biryani
him
in your
for
life,
30 years.
you will not comment on it.
That's right. Shame the vegetarian. Shame him.
Yes, of course.
For 30 years I've known him. I've never seen him so
I
aggressive.
wouldn't have shamed it. I would have let it go.
But he
wants
took
to
it
talk
to
about
a
taste and
point.
flavor.
He took it to a point.
Yeah,
Kal bolenge,
exactly.
tomorrow you say Budike is also from Kolkata.
Sir, taste the meat.
Yeah.
Once you taste it, you
the
know.
meat, sir. Once. Taste the meat. Taste the meat. Taste the
many
meat.
times.
Taste the Oh, God. Oh, God.
Smell the coffee, taste the meat.
I mean, this is like saying, I want Greenland, I want Canada,
Are you trying to
I
say-
want biryani.
Are you trying to say that Joy is the Donald Trump of Bengal?
Doland.
The Donald
He's
Trump.
got to be somebody. He can't be Joy with his social media going the way it
That's
is.
right. Oh, that's right. Even Trump's. I will tell you what, sir.
Joy,
Sir, one second. Trump's friend bought Twitter for him.
Correct.
I will buy for you, sir. I will buy for you, and then we will put potato on the biryani.
My popularity rating is like Tesla stock.
But do you tweet in capitals or no? Biryani is mine. Whatever.
Just do it. Just do
It
it.
is bigly. Biryani is bigly.
Biryani is bigly. Okay. Moving on to their chances. Let's move to Chennai's chances. What are Chennai's? All right. Big predictions. What are the big predictions? I feel that just like Trump's brain, where you feel like some pieces are missing. I feel here for Chennai also, I feel like some pieces are missing. I think the puzzle's not coming together.
Breaking news. Breaking news. Gaurav Kapur equates Chennai Super Kings with Trump.
More tariffs. More tariffs for everyone.
What is that? Kofifi, something?
Kofifi.
Oh, Kofifi.
Wow, you've really
Kofifi,
brought
yeah.
something back, huh? Wow. That was from his first term.
Yeah, yeah.
Jeez, wow.
I think they are. Maybe not.
Maybe.
Are you talking about Trump or
Chennai.
Chennai?
Maybe.
No,
Well, we've all
maybe
three
not.
have got them. All three of us have got them as maybe baby.
Yeah.
Okay. So 3 maybe babies for them. Let's move to Delhi because, well, Delhi's been in the news because Harry Brook was chosen by them, but due to the AQI levels, we knew that he was not going to come because there was too much pollution. And just as we expected, he is not here. But it doesn't matter. See, it doesn't matter for Delhi if the British are there or not because Bapu is there. That's what matters.
Well played.
Well
3
done.
for the day.
No, he
Fantastic.
thought of this line before.
Yeah, I didn't. I have
You really
have
came
to
up
give
with this
credit
one?
where it's due.
Because you were Trump about 10 seconds ago. So you can't come up with lines like that.
No, this line is for Sharkar. Mr. Sharkar, our producer-director, he came up with this line. He said it doesn't matter if the British are gone, Bapu is there. This is like, I give credit where it's due.
And Bapu is a proper player, man.
He's just, love Akshar. Love
a
Akshar.
proper
Akshar's the
player.
captain. And again, very importantly, right, because we've had a year of, well, last year, of course, the captaincy transition and how that didn't go well for Mumbai. And we saw how that all played out. Thankfully, that's under control with Mumbai this year. But with Delhi, that could have been an issue, Joy, and it's a good thing that it's not because when KL Rahul was picked there in the auction, we all kind of thought that maybe he's going to be.
They picked a captain.
No, but I think, look, again, you even look at the prices. Okay, they paid Aksar 16.5.
Yeah.
Okay, Rahul, they picked at 14.
14.
So I think they always had him as captain. And also, I think, again, one of the things you have to remember is this is a transition year. This is a year when the management goes from the Delhi Capitals, that is
From the Jindals to the
from the
GMR.
Jindal to the GMR. And so you'll see most of the staff is completely changed. So you've got a completely new coaching staff. I think they've got a decent core, but again, I love the bowling.
Yeah.
But batting, again, you have to look at it and say, are they strong enough? Do they have enough
You know,
firepower?
the funny thing is, if I was Harry Brook and I thought I was a good player, and they didn't even replace me.
Yeah.
They didn't even replace him.
Yeah, but sir, he can think he's irreplaceable. That's what he's. If I'm his therapist, I'm saying you're irreplaceable. Bada तुम्हारा कोई option ही नहीं बड़ा. Bada, you are
And
the
not only
best
that, he basically must have realized because he must have called up Stark and said, how do you get out of IPL teams? Because
Only thing is, Stark gets out of an IPL team and comes back with a record. Brook can't come back for the next 2 years.
Yes, Brook is now gone. Yeah.
They're talking about
but I
Brook
think it's a
being
great
captain.
rule. And I think a lot of guys have backed it. A lot of guys have
No,
backed
it's a
it.
great rule. If you see what Moeen Ali has said also, he said, no, teams, so the team that I had Brook batting at 3 for Delhi. Suddenly there's no Brook. They haven't replaced him. I think it could be a blessing in disguise. It will force them to pick one of the best IPL players in Faf du Plessis.
Yeah.
And suddenly Faf will go up to open the batting because I'm hearing KL Rahul is going to bat at 4.
Oh, really?
Because I had him as my candidate for one of the top scorers. He's not becoming orange cap from number 4.
Yeah. No.
So they might use that Fraser McGurk up at the top with Faf.
Yeah.
With Faf, they like that Abhishek Purel. He comes and gets those quick 30s, which is fine.
Good batter.
KL Rahul at 4, and then the batting just sort of just follows. Then you've got a player I rate very, very high, Tristan Stubbs. So they've got enough power in that batting. If Rahul just releases himself and says, man, I'm just going to go and have fun. He batted beautifully in the Champions Trophy.
Yeah.
I tell you, watching KL Rahul in the Champions Trophy was such a good feeling. He just releases and says, I'll go and play my game.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's a decent batting side. It's not a side you're scared of, but it's still a pretty decent batting side. But that young kid at the top must fire, Fraser McGurk.
We'll pull up that squad again, and then Akshar would bat at 6.
Akshar will bat wherever. If he's India, he might bat at 4 also.
So
but
He'll bat wherever.
These guys are the opposite of Rajasthan. Lot of international batting. The only one international bowler they can probably beat. Stark is the only international
Yeah,
bowler.
but look, they've got the India spinners, right? They've got Kuldeep and Akshar, right? So
Yes.
they have, that is their
Stark
bowlers,
and
they have
Natarajan.
One
Mitchell,
more.
Stark, I'm really liking their bowling, this year.
Mohit Sharma, Mukesh Kumar.
Yep.
So it's okay. It's a decent batting side. And there's one guy who can't stop scoring runs. We don't know how much he'll score in T20, but he turns up for Vidarbha and he can't stop scoring runs, and that's Karun Nair.
Yeah.
So Karun Nair, I don't know how he fits into this T20 side because they've got this Ashutosh. It's a strange format, this, where an Ashutosh who can come and clobber 20 in no time might be preferred over Karun Nair.
Yeah.
So Ashutosh will bat at 6 maybe, or Akshar at 6, Ashutosh at 7, and then they've got Kuldeep, Stark, Mukesh, Natarajan. Maybe they'll have Ashutosh as an impact sub and play Karun Nair maybe as a batter. Though that might leave them a little short on bowling. They might have a bowler as a.
I think they've got good players. I think their problem is going to be selection of those batters and the order that they play them in. I feel like it's not naturally fitting because you're seeing plenty of top order players over there.
A, that. B is that there is one other issue. And I'm telling you, one of the big things about the IPL is, do you have enough? You have one injury down to... They have just 6 international players, okay?
Yes.
One guy goes down, 1 or 2 batters go down, and then suddenly you're forced to play Donovan Pereira. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that he's a necessarily
There isn't a
bad
lot of
player.
Indian batting, you're right.
Then-
Apart from Karun Nair, Samir Rizvi, much talked about, hasn't yet delivered. There's not a lot of Indian batting there if they start to have a problem.
Yeah, it's not.
And not much experience in the batting. Not much Indian experience.
That's what's worrying me because you always speak about how the India core wins you the trophy.
Yeah.
Right? You talk about the India core has to be great to win you the trophy. And I feel that in terms of just sheer firepower batting, I feel like they just might be a little short compared to the other teams. They're great players.
Also, you don't
Great
wish an
batters.
injury on anybody, but you look down that lineup and say, Akshar, world class, Kuldeep, world class. One of them's missing. Who's a spinner in that team?
Yeah.
And you suddenly look down that lineup. I've got some names in here, but who's the other spinner in that team?
Yeah, you don't have that class. And here's the thing, like, God forbid if something happens to Mitchell Stark, that wraps up a
Then
lot
they
of
have
this.
to play
only
Chamira.
Chamira, that's it.
Then they have to play Chamira.
They'll have to play Chamira. They'll have to play an international.
So there's a few ifs and buts there. I really like this team. I like this team. It's a good 11, but there's just a few question
It's a
marks.
wafer thin margin of error.
That's well put. Yeah, there's not too much margin of error, which is why I've got them as a fingers crossed. Because again, I'm always rooting for like a new name on the trophy.
Yeah.
I would like that new name on the trophy.
Obviously, I'm the designated bad guy out here because bad cop.
I'm just asking.
Luckily, he lives in
thumbs do you
Haryana.
have?
Luckily, he lives in
How
Haryana.
many thumbs do you have? You're throwing these thumbs down away. What's going on with you?
I'm like
you walk like this?
I'm like Nero with the gladiators,
Yeah.
Most people walk like this. I think Joy walks like this.
like a bulldog. Have you seen the cartoon bulldog in Tom and Jerry?
Yeah.
It has to walk like that. Yeah,
You have to do the...
that's like that. Okay, well, we've got them as maybe babies. But, okay, let's look at the Lucknow team. And, of course, Rishabh Pant, who's going to be captaining them. So that's exciting. Remember now, Rishabh's also... I mean, he didn't play T20 cricket. He's not played T20 cricket
Not since the World Cup,
Yeah,
not
since the World Cup. So he's not played T20 cricket for a while. Do you think that he is out of contention in the India T20 setup?
I think at the moment he's dropped below. They've got Sanju Samson up there.
Yeah.
Ishan Kishan might bubble under if he's got a very good tournament here. They like Dhruv Jurel very much. So there's 4 or 5. He's one of 4 or 5. And it shouldn't be that way because he's a generational player. It shouldn't be that way, but it is. So look how much he's got to prove here because he's got to show he's better than the others. Plus, he's got to lead a side. He's
Plus
got to
price tag.
plus the price tag.
Plus captain.
Plus he's got to lead a side with a powerful owner.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah. Those Monday morning HR meetings also. that he has to take care of. I'd forgotten about that from last year.
it's an owner family that loves sport, not just cricket, loves sport, loves football. They're there. But, I think Rishabh as captain has a lot to do.
Yeah. Wow.
My point is, I feel that if anyone can handle it, I feel Rishabh, I think temperamentally, will handle it better than a Rahul because Rahul is a very straight boy. Okay, you're telling me, sir, yes, I'm just saying. Rishabh has got a little bit of a swagger and this thing, and I think he'll make his way around it easier.
He's also school of hard knocks, isn't he?
Yeah,
He's come from the school of hard knocks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So you think he'll be able to handle this better?
I think he'll be able to handle it better because he has a certain way of dealing with people which is a very, it's a very different way of dealing with people.
Oh, he's a great guy. He's very affable. He's quite awesome.
So he's not going to stand there like a student, like with a teacher admonishing him. He'll find a way to turn that situation.
Most people, if they've seen that clip on air, would be very unhappy for the rest of their career. And yet he goes and does a commercial.
A spoof on that.
A spoof on that. As if to say, look, it doesn't matter, sir. Aapne bol diya, koi baat nahi.
Yeah.
It was
very
amazing.
interesting.
I know.
Yeah. He doesn't go there and does a spoof on that.
Stupid. Harsha.
No. Why are you looking at him? You have to look away.
Harsha, he has to look away. And Harsha, I believe they are casting for you nowadays.
Yeah, that's right. They can't afford the real Harsha.
They can't
need
afford
a
the
body
real
double.
I was just thinking of this cast.
Come to the Cricbuzz studio. See the real Harsha. He's here.
I was just thinking maybe there's this casting director who's looking for this big new face, or is looking for the next Madhuri Dixit, he's looking for the next Katrina Kaif, he's looking for the next Hrithik Roshan, whatever. And he's told, go and find a lookalike of this guy. I mean, your job doesn't get worse than that. Oh, he put his thumbs up.
I started my career, a lot of my career in television, searching for the new Harsha.
Oh, that's right, you did.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did for a living. Dude, he's just doing the job we did 20 years back.
But I mean, Harsha की खोज अभी तक चालू है. हम इनको ढूंढते रहते हैं. Commentary वाले उनको ढूंढ रहे हैं, event वाले उनको ढूंढ रहे हैं, ad वाले उनको ढूंढ रहे हैं, casting director उनको ढूंढ रहे हैं.
देख, और RCB लोग मुझे ढूंढ रहे हैं.
सारी दुनिया क्या लाइन है वो?
क्या?
सारी दुनिया डॉन को ढूंढ रही है.
हाँ, correct.
Yeah. Anyway,
डॉन को पकड़ना मुश्किल ही नहीं, नामुमकिन है.
Where does Rishabh Pant back?
तुम डॉन को बाहर ढूंढ रहे हो, डॉन तुम्हारा यहाँ इंतजार कर.
Correct. Cricbuzz के स्टूडियो में.
अच्छा, यहाँ मैंने दरवाजा लॉक कर दिया है. जिसको भी आना है अपनी चेक बुक लेके आ जाइए. मामला नक्की करते हैं अपने बीच में, नो प्रॉब्लम. ये कहीं नहीं जा रहे. I will not let him leave. You know why? Oh, door. Yeah, that's right. The door is locked.
When you start talking a language that I can understand, we'll come back.
Okay, then a simple question for you: Rishabh Pant to open?
I think Rishabh Pant wants to open. Every time I ask him, I had this meeting 2 or 3 years ago. I said, "वैसे आप कहाँ बैटिंग करना चाह रहे हैं?" He said, "मैं तो ओपन करना चाह रहा हूँ, लेकिन सारे लाइन में लगे मैं ओपन करने के लिए."
वो भी सही बात है सर.
But I think he can open, and it's a very unusual team if you look down that lineup. First of all, it's packed with powerful left-handers. So if you see Nicholas Pooran walks into any contemporary T20 11, Nicholas Pooran, David Miller, that's another side that doesn't like too many overseas players, by the way. They've only got one overseas bowler, but Pant, Puran, Miller, there's a lot of power over there. They might play Mitch Marsh, who's not allowed to bowl. Now, that's the strangest line I've heard. Not allowed to bowl, but Mitch Marsh will not bowl. Because when he marks out his run-up, he gets an injury.
Yeah,
true.
I mean, I feel sorry. It's not a nice thing to say about him, but he's always injured. But if Mitch Marsh is opening the batting and he gets going, can you imagine a batting lineup of Mitch Marsh, Rishabh Pant, David Miller, Nicholas Puran? We talked about power. There's a lot of power in this team up at the top.
Oh, there it is. Their overseas might. We have enough overseas.
I'm not so sure of the other two, though. Bridska and Markram.
Bridska,
he came into the news because when nobody was around, he played those two ODIs against Pakistan and got 150.
Yeah.
So he's obviously a good player, but his T20 record isn't wow. And Markram's been around. I always thought he's a great player, but his T20 record in recent times hasn't been the greatest.
Let's come back to their squad. Right?
Yeah.
Let's come back to their squad. We'll pull that up on screen because there's an interesting thing that you note over there.
So who opens them?
Exactly. Opener kaun hai? There is Rishabh Pant only. I think that they have...
No, they can open with Markram otherwise, who opens in Test cricket. So
yeah, but
But then that's another international player. So
their bowling is Indian,
you
right?
could open with Pant and Mitch Marsh.
Correct.
Puran at 3.
Exactly.
Miller at 4. Okay.
Did you say bowling? All their bowlers are in the NCA.
Actually, that's true.
So they'll have to use Indian bowlers. They've only picked Sharma Joseph as an overseas bowler.
Yeah.
So if they don't open with Markram and they open with Pant, Marsh, Puran, there's an Indian batter somewhere I'm missing.
Samad, Abdul Samad,
Abdul Samad,
Ayush Badoni.
And Ayush Badoni.
Yeah.
Sorry, comes in at 6.
Yeah.
But thereafter, they've got a lot of Indian bowling. They've got Akash Deep. They've got Shahbaz Ahmed to play that Krunal Pandya role. Remember Krunal Pandya was there?
Yeah.
They've got Shahbaz Ahmed. He's had a fabulous Mushtaq Ali, but he's had a fabulous Mushtaq Ali as a batter, not as a bowler.
Yeah.
So their bowling relies very heavily on Indian bowlers.
Yeah.
And a lot of them injured.
And I mean, they spent 11 crores on Mayank Yadav. You see Mayank Yadav running in, he was bowling 150 for fun. Mohsin Khan is a fabulous bowler, but he's always injured. So Mayank is injured, Mohsin is injured. I'm hearing there's a bit of an injury scare with Avesh Khan as well.
Yeah.
So then who's going to bowl for them?
So that's the reason why I have them as maybes, because their casualty ward, unfortunately, it's packed.
Yeah.
Right? Their bowlers are only Indian bowlers. SAC pretty much thinks, I guess, like Ashish Nehra thinks, that the Indian bowlers are your core and your Indian bowlers. They've gone Indian bowlers heavy because
I'm hearing they're going to have, if they have a replacement, they might pick Shardul Thakur.
Okay.
You're saying Shardul is
That Shardul and Shivam Mavi have been training with them. So if there's a late call-up announcement that Shardul or Shivam Mavi, if those other bowlers are ruled out of the tournament.
Yeah.
Because if you got a replacement, you can't come back into the side afterwards.
Yeah.
They've got to be certain that these fast bowlers are going to be out for the entire tournament. But Shivam Mavi and Shardul Thakur have been training with LSG.
Yeah. Well, so that's why I have them as a maybe, because of just the injury concerns with their bowling.
With the powerful batting. If they didn't have that powerful batting, I might have been even tempted to go no. But that powerful batting makes me sort of fingers crossed.
Sir, आपके 4 होंगे इस साल या नहीं?
देख लो.
क्या आपके
I'm the only person who's not trying to crowd please, but okay.
Fair enough.
Shot fired, gentle shots.
Yeah. No, it's okay, sir. I'd rather get it from him than from the mob, right? So it's okay.
Point.
Yeah.
You played it better.
But I'm just saying, I just want to ask you a serious question. How many teams do you think qualify for the playoffs?
1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 3 teams left.
4. So you are aware of this number, right? You don't think it's
Last year you had 2.
Last year you had 2.
No, I said 2 guys I think are sureties, and I had 4 guys who I think were sort of possibilities. That's what my logic was.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just telling you that if you get a thumbs down from Joy, don't worry about it. Sometimes it's a guaranteed entry into the playoffs. Right? Joy's stamp of disapproval is the best thing that can happen to your team. Sir, I'm saying this for you only.
Yeah, you're saving me. You're saving me.
Yeah,
You're
I'm
right.
saving you. All right, let's move to the next team. Gujarat, love this team, obviously, because of our dear pal, right? Ashinera, my buddy, is there. But just
Parthiv also now.
And PP, our little PP.
Yes.
But look at the team they made.
I think that GT's gain is CB's loss.
Yeah.
Because Parthiv was so popular here.
Yeah.
And what a terrible career decision to make. Cricbuzz to go to Gujarat Titans. I mean, I expected better from Parthiv.
पार्थिव चेंज हो गया भाई चेंज हो गया भाई छोड़ के चला गया हमको चेंज हो गया भाई but
different side.
again this team and what they bought at the auction we just
Smartest auction buys.
okay here's the
You think so?
Yeah.
there's Josh Butler there there's Glenn Phillips you don't even count in the 11 because he never comes onto the ground he's always in the air
You know, fun. Till he catches the ball. Then he comes down.
but the ball's dead so
But you know, the funny thing is, like Santner, like Zampa, here's a world-class player that IPL teams don't pick.
Yeah,
For
and
some
doesn't get a
reason.
chance
He
also.
has to walk into this side and play at number 4.
okay here's
But
my
if any team will play him, they will.
But here's
hope
my
so.
then here's my 4 overseas. Josh Butler, Glenn
Yes.
Phillips, Rashid Khan, Kagiso Rabada.
Yeah, done.
Yeah?
Yes.
It's a good 4.
And Rabada and Rashid have just played together fantastically for MI Cape
New
Town.
York.
Yeah.
For Cape Town.
Cape Town, sorry.
They won the SA20 and those two both had very good seasons. So
so here's their 1, 2, 3 is amazing. Shubman,
Sai
Sudarshan and Josh Butler. Play
you don't
them
know in what
wherever
order.
you want to.
I think Shubman will open.
You can play them wherever. 1, 2, 3. Right? That's a solid top 3.
Yes. Then what?
Then see who comes in. There's Glenn Phillips you play at 4.
Yes.
Okay, now when you bring that squad up, you'll see there's between Anuj Rawat, Rahul Tewatia, Shah Rukh Khan, Mahipal
Shahrukh will
Lomror.
play-
Right? You've got
Washington
Whatever
Sundar.
bat at 6, Washington Sundar comes in. Yeah.
So there you go. You've got some decent players over there. You're not going to play Sherfin Rutherford, right? He probably won't get a chance.
Unless they don't play Phillips and play Rutherford there.
So now, if he started from the bottom, right? You say that Prasidh Krishna,
Mohammad
Siraj, Kagiso Rabada, Rashid Khan.
Yeah.
Those 4 are playing.
Then
Right?
they can
You
play
can
the
have
left
Sai
arm.
Kishore
The
as
left arm.
an impact player. So now you're looking at your top 3 and your bottom 4 are sorted.
Plus Washington as the bowler.
And Washington
So the
as
bowling
well.
is sorted.
So
And
let's say
Phillips
you are,
will give you some bowling.
sorry?
Phillips will also give you bowling.
So,
Phillips will give you bowling.
so then you don't have that many question marks with them
No, there
because
might be
your
even-
question mark is number 5 and number 6,
5, 6,
where you
7,
have
yeah.
4 players to fill.
But there's Tewatia at 7.
So between Tewatia, Shah Rukh Khan, Mahipal Lomror, Anuj Rawat, you have 2 slots to fill with those 4.
Washington. So they've got options. They're not scary players there, but they've got options.
Yeah.
So they might be even tempted to go with Rutherford for Phillips, which a lot of people do, just a left-handed power player. Then maybe push Washington or Lomror up at 4. And then maybe even use Shah Rukh as an impact sub. They've retained him, but
Lomror
use
did
Shah Rukh as an
decently
impact
for RCB.
for RCB last year. In fact, in that big chase with DK, it was Lomror who started and DK who finished.
But let's look at that. I mean, talking about their bowling. Take
a good
Rashid
bowling lineup.
aside.
It's a good
Take
bowling
Rashid
lineup.
aside. Their pacers with Kagiso Rabada,
Now,
Siraj,
If
Prasidh
Prasidh Krishna is fit, they have a very decent bowling attack.
I'm looking at economy rates. Look, Kagiso Rabada is one of the greatest test match bowlers, but he's never been a wow, great T20 bowler yet. Mohammad Siraj has just been released by a franchise that loved him. Prasidh Krishna is coming out of injury, goes at 9, 10 and over sometimes. So my feeling is, if you're playing a test match, these are 3 fabulous bowlers. I think each of the 3 can travel on a flat deck.
Yeah, but I'm just saying less than 9 these days in T20 cricket
That's
is a
over
good,
that's
is
over
a good
career.
economy.
I'd like to look at the numbers in...
Last few years.
Yeah.
But I have one point for you, and I really believe it will make a difference. I believe that having Ashish Nehra as a coach liberates bowlers, especially fast bowlers.
Yep.
Because I think he knows what to tell them to this thing. Because
I hope so. They want Siraj to do what Shami did.
yeah, his thing is that bowlers don't come from a position of fear. Go get your wickets. Go attack, go get your wickets, just go chase. I mean, don't worry. It'll sort yourself out. You get 3 wickets up front, the game is done.
Look, it's also a big season for Ashish.
Yeah.
Because there's been a change of ownership.
Yeah.
They've continued with it this year, but they'll also be looking at the coaching staff next year, new owners next year. So he'll also have to prove that he can. I have some question marks over GT overall because I think the bowling can travel. Rashid in recent times has gone over 8 and over. That's just my little concern. That's all on flat days.
Yeah. I feel I'm giving them a thumbs up. And not emotional reasons. It would be very easy for emotional reasons for me to give a thumbs up to pretty much all 10 teams for some reason or the other. But I think they've got it sorted. I think the international additions have been really good. The bowling additions have been really
need
good.
Gill to have a
I think we have to
season.
also doff our hat to one guy. Honorable mention, Ishant Sharma.
Absolutely.
Still there?
Ishant Sharma, love issue, man.
I won't be
He's still
surprised
there. He'll
if
play.
midway through the season he's playing ahead of Prasidh Krishna or someone like that.
Yeah.
I won't be surprised at all that he'll come and bowl the power play overs and then get an impact sub in.
Yeah, but let's not forget that he's not some old boy.
And by the way, he played well for Delhi this year.
Yeah.
Whenever he went and played, he played well for Delhi. But Delhi, you didn't always know who was playing when till the team took the field.
Yeah.
But when he played and when he knew who was playing, he actually had a decent season for Delhi.
So I think Joy and me are both disagreeing with Harsha on this, right?
See, also, we're talking about the point to prove 11.
Yeah.
Josh Butler.
Good point.
Big point to prove.
Yeah.
Let go by Rajasthan. I mean, he was a star for Rajasthan.
How they let him go.
I was very surprised.
So he's another guy with a point to prove.
Okay. Their playoff chances, I'm giving them a thumbs up. Harsha's giving them a fingers crossed. Or are you giving them a... Oh, have you given them a thumbs down?
Watch when it comes up.
Harsha's giving... Joy?
Thumbs up.
You found it?
I found it.
You found your thumb? Tom thumb?
So
Were you sitting on it?
No, I'm in good place.
Joy's like, where is it? I can't see it. I can't see it. I can't see it. I can't
The
see
only
it.
reason I put a thumb.
Yes.
I've got it. Only reason I gave a thumbs down was they need Butler and Shubman to have huge seasons.
Yeah.
If Butler and Shubman for some reason don't have big seasons, then they're in trouble. That's why I've got that down. Okay.
Okay. Let's look at the Punjab team now. We were talking about Shreyas Iyer. I think their big plus this year. Well, once again, they have a new captain. That's not surprising.
That's not surprising.
18 years, 20 captains or some such, I think.
Doesn't
It's
matter.
just-
But
They've
yeah,
had-
it's
after a while
crossed
you
double
lose
figures. It's in double figures.
It's in double figures for sure. New coach as well, right? So new coach, new captain. Why does this happen with such alarming consistency?
Triumph of optimism.
Yeah.
That the coach signs a 4-year contract.
Wow.
A 4-year contract.
Or a very smart.
Very smart. I hope there's a clause in there somewhere. Look, it's become fashionable and we've all been guilty of it, of having a go at Punjab. And the reason is every year you look at that team and say, wow, man, they've got great players and they never qualify. You look at it this year, this is a team that if it gets it right, a lot of people don't want to play them.
Yeah.
Because they came into the auction with a lot of money. And look at that. They've got Marco Jansen and Arshdeep Singh to open the batting. This is, by the way, Australia's second
bowling,
11.
yeah.
There's a direct flight now being launched between Chandigarh and Australia.
Yeah, fair enough. So Amritsar, London already flies, so why not?
Yeah.
They've got Chahal, who's also a PTP player.
Yeah.
Maxwell, they've got a decent side, you know. Lockie Ferguson.
And lots of all-rounders. Just look at those all-rounders.
The guy I like won't play.
Stoinis, Jansen, Omarzai, 4 there. You also have somebody like Harpreet Brar. You have 5 decent all-rounders.
Okay, who are your 4 overseas in your first 11?
My gut feel is they'll go with Josh Inglis to open, but I'm hearing very good things about a young guy from Delhi called Priyansh Arya.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
they rate him.
if they give that kid a go, then they don't need Josh Inglis up there. They can play all those all-rounders in the middle. They might even be able to play Jansen and Lockie both. Lockie's not out with injury yet, no?
No.
No. So if he's there, they can play both Jansen and Lockie and then play 2 of those all-rounders. Maybe Stoinis and Maxwell, or maybe Stoinis and Omarzai, or Maxwell and Omarzai. They've got a lot of options there. Jansen at 7 is a powerful hitter. So the bowling is looking after itself with Chahal and Brar and these fast bowlers. So this is a side actually that could upset a few teams.
I'll tell you what I like about them.
Yeah.
What I like about them is Ricky Ponting and Shreyas Iyer coming together.
Yes.
That is a combination that we have seen in Delhi. We have seen they both rate each other very highly.
Yeah.
Right? So there you go. Shreyas said, I personally feel I didn't get the recognition I wanted after winning the IPL. Completely agree. I think that Shreyas should have got a lot more credit. And I'd say we'd all be, of course, we're all a party to that guilt, if that is, we're all guilty of that. Ricky Ponting said, I was desperate to work with Shreyas again. We had a great working relationship at Delhi over a long period of time. I have
Half of
actually seen
18
that.
season, all of 19, 20 when they reach the finals.
Yeah.
So 19 they qualified. For the first time in ages.
Yeah.
Then 20 they qualified.
20 they made
they
the
got
finals.
to the final.
Yeah.
So they've done well together.
Yeah.
If Ponting and Shreyas are told this is your team, let's talk end of the
So
season.
here's my problem with that, right? My problem is that over all these years, we have seen that, again, this is a management lesson, right? That it's what Shah Rukh did in 2011, what the owners of Knight Riders did, where you said, we're going to get professionals and we're going to let them do the running of the team. And we see how well that worked out for. I feel like that somewhere in Punjab, that doesn't I feel that doesn't happen. And the testament to that is just the changing of the team management, the captain, etc. so often. And we've noticed this again and again. They get the squad right. They get the team right. They go off to a rollicking start. And somewhere mid-season, the wheels just come
The
off.
sum of the parts is always less than the whole.
Exactly. And that's what worries me with Punjab. That's what worries me every year with them. And unfortunately, that's been proven right every year. I hope that I'm proven wrong this year, that somehow they can magically just let these guys happen. But I feel like that may not happen, and that's why I have not given them a
So
chance.
they're fighting history. They're fighting history.
They're fighting history, and they're also fighting something which has just become almost like default system, right?
I agree. If you had to have a coach with a point to prove villain, it would be Ponting.
Yeah.
And if you had to have a captain, it would have been Shreyas Iyer. Both have points to prove. The only plus point I see for Punjab this year is, you're right, every year they pick great squads who underperform. The only plus I see out here is that captain-coach relationship is already set. If you see the last
That's the
5 years
reason
of
he
the
got the money he did,
captain-coach relationship, it's been fraught.
Yeah.
They've never had a great captain-coach relationship, Whether it's Rahul, what's happening with him. Every captain of Punjab is always looking over his shoulder. Captain-coach is fixed. I'm not saying the owner part of it is fixed, but if they get off to a decent start and the ownership
Exactly. If they get off to a poor start, then suddenly everyone's demanding things of Ponting. Ponting's typical Aussie, strong character. He'll tell you things as it
He'll
is.
push back, yeah.
So if they start well, there's a lot of teams saying actually there are match winners there in that.
Yeah, I've seen them start well a few years and then
then-
sometimes the wheels just come off. So again, for me, their chance would be if Shreyas and Ricky are given a free hand to make mistakes. But I've just not
point.
seen enough empirical evidence of that. So therefore, I've given them a thumbs down.
I mean, for me, they're a maybe. There's enough promise out there.
Yeah.
So this proves that Joy, if he's going to have 4 thumbs ups, is going to give Mumbai a thumbs up because he's got only 3 so far.
Yeah, but I want to know, you've given it a thumbs down.
Yes.
You just spoke so highly about it.
Because
It
I've
just
said
sounded
no,
like,
I said all these things, but the sum of the parts is always less than the whole.
Yeah.
So if they can put it all together, I don't see them going all the way for some reason. But I think there'll still be a team that others are worried about. If they have to qualify there, I think they'll sneak in. If
ये
they,
सर ने bait and switch कर दिया हमारे साथ. Like the old bait and switch.
luckily Kings 11 is not one RCB fan base, so I can say it.
Oh, अच्छा. Political, sir. Good strategic thinking.
Well played.
Strategic, well played. Well left. Okay, I guess we know now where Joy stands on Mumbai because he said he's giving 4 thumbs up. You know what? I think I'm with them this year as well. Last year, before the season began, we were worried about whether the transition of captaincy had been handled well, right? I think we got evidence through the season that it perhaps had not been handled, ideally behind closed doors.
Hadn't been handled at all, exactly.
Yeah, hadn't been handled. I think that this year it has. Personally, with a player like Hardik, with an India player, leaving all personal emotion aside of me being fond of him, I think what happened with him, with that Wankhede crowd, I think that did not sit right with me.
They needed to, the crowd needed to.
I'm not going to say that word.
Okay.
Because I don't think crowds can do whatever they want.
Correct.
Misbehave as much as you
Correct, I agree.
misbehave,
They
have
come to
fun,
watch
do
the
whatever
game
you
the way
want.
they want, yeah.
But just the way he's your player, he's your captain. I think just treating him that way was just felt like it was a little in poor taste.
But you know,
a game or 2 games is fine. Yes, you have loyalty to the previous captain. Completely understandable. But going through the season was a
Because
bit
once
much.
the team starts losing, then it just, then
Snowballs.
it just snowballs.
But here you have a guy now who has played a good part in winning 2 ICC trophies, right, in the last 12 months.
He's in a very good place.
Yeah.
I chatted with him from time to time during the Champions Trophy. He's looking relaxed. He's looking happy.
Yeah.
He's
Everything except that mustache is great.
He's done all the difficult things
Thank
for
you.
Team India.
Thank you. Somebody needed to say that.
are-
You're a brave man, but you said it.
Ali,
a
my brother,
lot of-
you're
a
not,
lot of
you're not
terrible-
bringing that. You're not bringing that 80s porn stash, okay? That's not happening. We don't need that one.
There's a lot
Joy
of
knows
terrible,
what I'm talking about.
A lot of terrible mustaches in the world game, but but if
Thank
you
God
see
I
what
just trimmed mine today. By the way, mine was like this after my holiday. It was
thank God you did. But Hardik's in a very good place. The reason India won the Champions Trophy was Hardik was doing all the heavy lifting, bowling the power play overs, allowing you to play 4 seamers. He's a big-hearted player.
Yeah.
Hardik, you've got to admit. And this year, I think he's more relaxed. Things have happened in his life as well. I think there's been a lot of sorting out. He's in a good place. Mumbai's problem is going to be if Bumrah is not fit. If Bumrah is fit, just look at that 11. And you say, with that power and with the options, how can Mumbai not qualify? Rohit Sharma, Ryan Rickelton is one of my choices for the breakout player of the tournament. So Rohit Sharma, Ryan Rickelton.
Tilak at 3.
Tilak, Surya Kumar Yadav, Hardik Pandya. If you can play Will Jacks as well, then play those two, play Santner and play Bolt.
Yeah.
That's one option that
Deepak
you can
Kher
play
is
for
fit
that.
so
For
far.
that, if Chahar and Bumrah are playing, you got Chahar, Bumrah, Bolt, Hardik, Santner as a spinner, and then you can play Namandhir or someone to bowl a little bit. Then if Will Jacks is playing at 3, Surya 4, Tilak 5, Hardik 6, Namandhir 7, Santner 8, you've got batting all the way down. It's a side that if everything is pulling together. And you know one other interesting thing that happened when they were doing the retentions. Now, how do you decide? You've got Rohit Sharma, you've got Hardik Pandya, you've got Jasprit Bumrah, you've got Surya Kumar Yadav. Who goes into which category? And they said, we'll pay all 4 the same.
Yeah.
And I think it was Rohit who said, no, I think Bumrah deserves more. So if you see the retention value,
It's
even
18.
if it's nominal, Bumrah is the highest, Sky and Hardik are same, and Rohit said, I'll take the drop.
Yeah.
To show Bumrah that you are the, this is your status in Indian cricket at the moment.
Yeah.
Bumrah is the most important player in world cricket at the moment. He's the best player in the world at the moment across formats, across batting, bowling, everything. So Bumrah is a key element. If Bumrah is coming back and playing like he did for India, this team looks very, very good.
He's out for the first
3 games, maybe.
Anyway, see, Mumbai never win their first game.
Yeah.
Last time they won a first game was in 2012.
That was before he was born or not?
Just after. He was still in his diapers.
Yeah, when they last won.
Yeah, and since then they won 5 titles.
Yeah.
But in the last cycle, they didn't finish. They got 2 last place finishes in the last cycle. Mumbai doesn't do that, man.
Yeah, I guess.
Last place
See,
finishes.
Mumbai and Chennai these last 3-4 years have been traumatic.
Yeah, I think what Harsha just said, that was a very nice line that you just said. If everything is pulling together in the same direction for them. And the point that you made about the auction, I've been a believer that they will go into the playoffs since then. Because there is something, I'm a big believer in the mahal, right? In the unseen, in the
The
intangible.
Mahal is a key player in every IPL team.
Yeah, that's your real impact player, right?
Yes.
Is your mahal. And I think that there is something pulling right for them, which I saw from that auction list. And I think that's what's going to get them across the line this time.
No, I agree with you. I said the 2 most important things for teams are, you're right, Mahol and health. Because injuries are the other thing which can devastate a team.
Yeah, but there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
But if the air they're breathing, Mahal, the air they're breathing is good, I think this team looks very, very difficult to beat.
Yeah, there's Deepak Chahar there as well. Again,
He has to have a
point
good
to prove.
season too.
He has to have a good
If
season.
he has a good season, see what he
He
does.
also has a
no?
point to prove. He also has a point to prove.
So Bolt and Chahar, the 2 leading power play bowlers, it liberates Bumrah, no? Straight away.
Correct.
You can bowl Bumrah when you want. Bowl 1-1-2.
And a
It's
captain
gold.
having
It's
4
gold.
overs of Bumrah.
Remember one thing. Hardik also bowls in the power play.
Exactly.
Right? So they don't imagine having a bowler like Jasprit Bumrah without the pressure of having to bowl him in the power play or in the death. You don't have to, right? You can, but you don't have to bowl him in the power play.
Yeah, there's one other factor. If Rohit Sharma has a big IPL and he's due one big IPL, he's come through a big tournament which he's won. He's got a big assignment in front of him. I think the best thing for Rohit Sharma is chill.
Yeah.
Just chill in this IPL. Go and bat, man. If necessary, we'll make you the impact sub. Just go and chill and bat. He's normally a very happy soul anyway. Just go and chill and bat. If he has a 500-run season, can you see what it does to the team if he has a 500-run season? So I think this team is a big thumbs up for me.
Yep. For me, 3 thumbs up. 3 thumbs up. Look at us. Is that, Hyderabad, we were unanimous.
Hyderabad and Mumbai,
That's
those are my
right.
top 2 teams.
Hyderabad and Mumbai are the ones
My
that,
top 2, all our top 2
yeah,
teams.
it was unanimous for us. Wow. Interesting.
We took 1.5 hours to come to the conclusion we could have right in the beginning.
I got Mumbai. Done.
Yeah. But we've taken, about a little more than 90 minutes. 100 minutes to get here.
That's how long it takes for a T20 game anyway. So it's
And we also have to tell you our squad, right? We'll tell you our squad for for Cricbuzz Live. So we'll come to that also. But let's first look at our first game, the big game that's coming up in, well, little less than 48 hours from now. It's Kolkata and Bengaluru, the defending champions, playing the big 18-18 team in Kolkata. Revenge match, sorry. Revenge match of 18th April 2008. So
There was a
match.
49 not out also after that somewhere.
Yeah, but this is the revenge match of that 18. Will happen here now. It's happening. And Bangalore will win it. हो गया preview, चलो आगे.
And
Expert analysis.
बोला हूँ थोड़ा पानी पीने दो.
Oh, that's right. You could get a bit thirsty. Get a bit thirsty. No me. Keep going. I'm dehydrated. We keep going. Let's have a look at the team. 11 for both teams. We have discussed them in the preview, but let's have a look at their squads and see what 11 they would like to play. Let's start with them. Who are your openers? Rahane and Quinton?
No, my opener is Quinton and
Narayan?
Sunil Narayan.
Okay, so
Quinton, Sunil Narayan.
Aju at 3?
Ajinkya Rahane at 3, Venkatesh Iyer 4, Rinku Singh 5, Andre Russell 6, Ramandeep 7,
Sunil Narayan
with Ankrish Raghuvanshi. I don't know if he can be a floater. He can only bat in the top order as my impact sub. Vaibhav Arora, Harshit Rana,
okay.
Andrik Nokia, if he's fit to bowl through the middle, and Varun Chakrabarti.
Okay, that's good.
I don't know how the track's going to be.
Yeah.
Because there was a time when Calcutta used to be a sort of sticky thing where Sunil Narayan was unplayable. Then it became a beautiful, good, bouncy surface. If it is that, Bangalore won't mind it. I think with a slightly sticky surface, Bangalore will struggle.
Yeah, but again, in terms of Calcutta, it doesn't matter what the surface is to people like Sunil Narayan and Varun Chakrabarti, two of the best in the world right now.
Yeah, Varun might enjoy the bounce.
Yeah.
Because it is a
Always
slightly bouncier track than it. I mean, it has been now. And whatever reports we are hearing from the Eden Gardens, they say it's an absolute beauty, apparently. It's a beautiful track.
Ajinkya Rahane's frame of mind taking over as captain of such a big franchise?
I think he took over from Virat Kohli after 36 not out and got them a victory. So he's got the steel, he's got the nerve. This is not by far the most important captaincy he's done. I think that series was, the place.
Okay. Good point.
Yeah. So for me, I think he's set. I think all he has to do is, if he gets a couple of innings and doesn't have to worry about his own batting, he'll be a very good skipper.
I think he's a mason. He builds solid structure, not an interior designer.
Yeah.
He's not putting a little thing over here, a little thing over there. Am I looking good on page 3? No, he's not that kind. Yeah. So he's very solid, but Joy is right. If he gets runs in those first 3 or 4 games, it'll make a big difference to his captaincy also.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, he's one of those good guys that kind of everybody roots for. So yeah, we all want to see him successful.
Also, I'm not sure of the Deacock Gurbaz.
You want Gurbaz?
I'm not sure. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
They have the option, but just the left-hander. But Sunil Narayan is
lefty.
So Gurbaz is a fabulous option.
Yeah.
And Gurbaz, look, Quinton hasn't been doing a lot.
No, he hasn't.
And it is difficult not to play international cricket and stay fit and stay match fit. It's not the easiest thing in the world.
Yeah. Okay, let's look at the Bangalore 11 now. Who would they like to play? Opening, of course, no doubt. There's going to be Virat Kohli and Phil Salt. You're playing... Are you playing Padikkal at 3 or are you playing your captain at 3?
I'm playing Padikkal at 3 and Patidar because Patidar smashes spin bowling.
Spin, he's the best.
Like very, very few can. So I've got Patidar at 4. I've got Livingston at 5. And I'll play Tim David at 7. I'll wait and see on Jacob Bethel.
Okay, so you're playing Tim
David. I'm playing Patidar at 3. I'm playing Padikkal at 3. But I only hope Padikkal is not the 120, 130 strike rate player that he's tended to be in the IPL till now.
Remember when he first season, he was such a revelation he was. And in RCB itself.
But wasn't he opening in that season?
Yeah, he was.
He was opening.
He was opening, right? I think, again, Padikkal is one of those players you feel like the opening position is his position.
Yeah, because I think a lot of teams have played him at 3 and 3 has just
for
not
India, he's played in the middle thereafter. So maybe he's just reinventing himself in the middle. But the man who's played so many great innings in white ball cricket at Eden Gardens, the king will be up at the top of the order.
Yeah.
Give him a chase. Can you imagine an IPL starting with KKR making 180, 185 and Kohli goes out in a run chase?
It'll happen.
That is
It'll
IPL.
happen.
That is IPL start you want.
And then with him, Salt, who playing against his old team.
Who knows a little bit about playing on the Eden Gardens.
There you go.
Yes. But Salt is coming out of a little sort of barren run.
A barren run in ODI, right?
But the way he plays, he will always have that kind of run because when he comes off, I mean, last year he made 480 at 180 strike rate, something like that.
Both of them, 457, 480.
Yeah.
I feel like
180.
he's just going to do like a hard reboot and say that was not your format. ODI, this is your format. Just come in here. And modern players these days are really good at doing that.
Yeah.
They can just kind of switch and say, forget about, chodo kal ki baat purani, and just come and play like that because he is that kind of player. He's a destructive player and a great player to bat with Virat Kohli.
I think for me, actually the critical guy is Patidar because of that 8 overs of Chakravarti and...
Yeah.
That's a very good point. That'll be the tussle. The middle over spin against Patidar. See, Livingston and all are not great players of spin, don't forget.
Yeah.
So that
Tim David is. Tim David plays spin decently.
Yeah, but that middle, depends on where he comes.
Yeah.
And that is why it's so important if Salt and Patidar have big innings, then the king is there Kohli is there at the end to play out the spinners and take the team. So I think that'll be their game plan.
Their bowling, let's have a look at the Bangalore bowling and see who would you have playing, who are your bowlers?
Bhuvi.
You have Hazelwood, Bhuvi and Yash Dayal come into your team. Suyash, would you play him?
Suyash has played a lot in Kolkata. He also likes bounce.
Yeah.
The kind of bowler he is. So they used him as an impact sub in Kolkata a lot.
Yes,
Yeah.
They did. I'd have Rasikdar playing and Krunal Pandya.
Okay.
With Livingston as the sixth. If there's anything in the wicket, then maybe Suyash comes in and plays. Suyash or Rasikdar are my impact subs.
Okay. And the next important thing that I want to talk about or share with you is, I spit on you! Is what the bowlers can say to the ball now.
Yes, I wondered where you were headed.
I spit on you! Which has not been happening since COVID because then the ball would have to take that sample and go to the lab. But now you can shine the ball with your spit.
And it's something the bowlers have asked for a long time.
Yeah.
There's two key elements now in the IPL that you won't see in world tournaments. One is use of saliva on the ball and the impact sub. No T20 tournament in the world has either of these two.
Correct.
This is a big thing. Also, they've empowered the umpires to change the ball if it's too wet.
Yeah.
Because far too many games are becoming win the toss, win the game with the dew at the end. So if the ball is too wet, at the 11th over, they can change the ball. If there's too much dew by 14, it's gone again anyway. But at least it's giving you a drier ball to bowl. And I think that could be a game changer this year. But again, it's for the umpires to implement, but it's a brave call.
Yeah.
No, I think they're doing both these decisions I love. They had a chance in 22. See, the rule came in 2020 during COVID, absolutely, as you said. In 22, they reviewed it and then they
said it doesn't make a big difference.
Yeah.
They said it doesn't make a big difference, so why have it?
My point is that bowlers were not making that decision. It was a decision being taken by...
But if you're bowling second, if you think you can get a little bit of reverse, by then the ball's wet and it's changed.
Yeah.
It's changed already.
Yeah.
So it won't make such a...
Yeah, but it's great that, I mean, if there's no dew, then you have the spit. If there's dew, you get a new ball. So everywhere, I just like the fact that bowlers are thought about because T20 cricket, yes, we talk about ab ki baar 300 baar with, Hyderabad and everything. But a 280, 290 game is really boring. No. It's really one-sided. You love those 170, 180 games where the bowler has something to do. Because I think that's why we all love Test cricket, right?
Take out the impact sub, though.
I would.
I don't know. Take out the impact sub. We'll come back to 180, 190 games.
Yeah.
On the Cricbuzz side, Deepu's done a fantastic analysis of what the impact sub has done to the first 5-6 ball strike rate as well.
Yeah.
Since the impact sub has come in, people are not trying to defend at all. Because you're playing with 8-9 batters.
Yeah.
So people are just going for it. And so you're losing more wickets, but you're scoring more runs.
The impact of the impact sub.
The impact sub. So
Go aside with it.
whatever.
Well,
I mean, it's a spectacle.
Yeah, I'm not a fan either.
I think there's a lot of cricketers as well, a lot of captains as well who have said that they are not fans of...
Rohit isn't.
That Rohit is not. Well, yeah.
Hardik isn't either.
So there's a lot of... But
And if you're an all-rounder like Hardik, you'd feel even more hard done by.
yeah, because effectively your role is being outsourced to two people.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? It's two people doing your job. There's two people taking your paycheck. Yeah. All right. The two people who will be key people in this game, one from Bangalore, one from Kolkata. Take your pick, gentlemen.
I'm going at home KKR.
Okay. No, the players.
Players to watch out for?
Yeah.
I'm tempted to go Phil Salt but I've just seen Kohli play I know it's 50 overs, but I've just seen him play 2 incredible innings there, man, in Dubai.
Okay, so you're picking Virat?
Because I also think it's got a big bearing on how RCB season goes.
Okay, so you're picking Virat. Who are you picking?
Patidar.
You're picking Patidar. Okay, so I'll pick Salt then. Chalo, top में कर लेते हैं हम लोग. Night Riders?
Chakravarti.
Chake.
Narayan, because he's going to be vital both ways.
Yeah.
With the bat, with the ball.
Okay.
आपको एक लेना है कोई?
One sec. You said with the bat also.
Sunil Narayan.
Yeah, opening.
Nice. So he's your opener then.
Yeah.
Because in the IPL he becomes a batter, no?
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah,
because because we were just talking about Narayan batting at 8, so
He scores more in one innings in the IPL than he does in the rest of the year.
The muscle.
Russell.
Yeah. The muscle.
Okay.
Going to have impact with bat and ball both?
Yeah, and as thin as I've ever seen him. As fit as I've ever seen him.
Serious?
Yeah.
Okay. So knees are okay.
fit.
Knees are okay. If
Knees are
dives
okay.
on the
He has less weight. That's what I'm saying. The last couple of years, he's really lost weight. He's looking really
If he
fit.
dives on the boundary, will the entire squad hold its breath or will they be okay?
They will
I'm just
still
saying-
hold their breath.
I'm
Given
just
how
saying,
important.
don't dive.
Correct.
You're a precious commodity. Don't dive.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. You're not using your expensive watches and throwing them away like that. No.
Though I've known
Put it in the
players who've
box.
replaced giant solitaires because they just lost them.
Yeah.
Giant diamond solitaires, I just lost them, so I got more.
Kho gaya to kho gaya, sir. It's a thing, yeah.
I need to know this.
It's a thing.
Not seen solitaires in your years?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Well, Harsha and Joy are going to be discussing earrings in a bit, so yeah.
No,
Stick around for that.
That's Blofeld who made a
Stick
caricature
around.
of it, yeah.
Stick around for that. It's going to be fun. Okay, we'll talk about our muscle, yeah, here on Cricbuzz Live. Our squad, our talented squad, who's going to be shepherding you these next 2 months. That's a lot of people. यार इतना छोटा font कर दिया यार क्या कर रहे हो यार ये क्या हो रहा है? There you see, कहाँ से शुरू करें सर?
कहाँ से? अच्छा right side से शुरू करो.
Right से शुरू करते हैं. Saimi, who is taking some time off triathlon.
Can you imagine when she sits here?
Yeah.
That's the longest she's been in one place without either cycling or running or swimming.
Oh, swimming, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's our Iron Man.
I love Saimi, but when she orders dinner, I'm forced to eat healthy.
So, since you
I feel
mentioned that,
guilty about not eating healthy.
Kale is not a meal. Saimi, kale is not a meal. All right? That's all I have to say to you.
Kale hai to kya hua, dil wale.
since you mentioned Sayami, let's go to the other end on that scale. We've got a new anchor.
That's right.
Very bright new anchor who was interviewed for the job and wasn't asked, how do you look into a camera? Can you handle whatever? Was just asked, can you order food?
That's right.
So
Because
we're
this is
looking for Tanya's ordering skills.
Yeah, this is, I mean, a lot of people...
You set the
mistake
bar
this-
too high.
A lot of people mistake this for some sort of a presenting
show.
an analysis job. It's not. It's an F&B job. It's an F&B gig. You keep these guys well fed, and your show is super smooth. There's just no problem.
But it's we're good to see all our old friends back. There's something about Cricbuzz. You know, I was in Australia earlier this year, last year, and I heard Michael Vaughan tell Adam Gilchrist, you know, you must. It's a great gig. You must come and work on Cricbuzz. It's a fabulous place to work.
And he did.
Next thing you know, Adam Gilchrist comes here, and we are flooded with responses saying, "Wow, you got Adam Gilchrist here."
Yeah. We've got, we had enough spin power already, but we've got some more. We've got Mishi. We got Mishi in the house. We've got
I tell you, he's
young Amit
hilarious.
Mishra.
He is hilarious.
Yeah, he is. Mishi tells some really good stories. So looking forward to welcoming Amit Mishra here as well. And some of your old friends and foes are still there. There you see, of course.
Polly's coming. Oh, Polly's coming too.
There's Polly
and
there's
Pommy.
Michael Vaughan,
Polly, Pommy.
there's Pommy, Simon Dool, Lisa
We've got a lot of
Baker.
Dooley this year.
So, yeah, of course, Viru is there.
Politics.
Manoj Tiwari.
Politics
Rohan
represented.
Gavaskar.
Politics represented. Manoj Tiwari.
That's right. LP Saab is here as
Oh,
well.
that's Amit Mishra in the goggles.
That's right.
And next to him is the pulao.
Tawa pulao.
Tawa Pulao, Manish Patavia.
Poor guy. I've never eaten tawa pulao, but I like Manish.
He has actually gone to Kashmir and instead of Vazwan food, eaten Tawa Pulao and Pav Bhaji. 100%. I'm convinced. Manish, tell us. Just tell us. That's why Parthiv calls him Batatia. He calls him Batata is potato. Because that's all he eats. He will also take the biryani. He wants the biryani with potato because he only eats the potato. That's what he does.
He must be one of those Calcutta biryanis.
Yeah, that's right.
Biryanis have meat.
Yeah.
unlike pulaus, which don't have meat.
Tawa pulao. He orders that.
I mean, I like Joy very much, but we will never agree on this.
Agree to disagree, gentlemen.
No,
I want this to happen right throughout the season on Cricbuzz.
It's like saying, Miyan, Hyderabad mein kya sandesh banate? Hyderabadi sandesh khaya Miyan mein, zabardast.
That does sound absurd, actually.
Kolkata ki
That
biryani.
does sound absurd.
Kolkata ki biryani.
What do you want to say, Joy?
Nothing.
You don't want to say anything.
Eat, taste.
Taste the meat.
True, yeah.
Taste the meat. Sir, एक बारी sir.
Hyderabad ka sandesh.
एक बारी. You've lost
I
it.
can imagine Utpal Dutt saying, Beta, Hyderabad ka
Beta.
sandesh.
No. And another piece of trivia for you. Utpal Dutt's favorite mithai is nariyal ke laddu.
That's well done.
Has the producer given up on us yet or no?
He left.
Have
He
you
left
already-
20 minutes ago.
Have you already gone off air?
He's taken your car and gone home.
He's gone. He's like, kar lo jo karna hai. ठीक है. He's left. All right, but we're going to leave as well because this is perhaps the most value for money that we've ever given Cricbuzz, and I don't want them to get this bad habit.
Yeah.
So थोड़ा अभी इसको wrap up करके निकलते हैं यहाँ से. कुछ बचा और? कोई बचा और? कोई भी नहीं है अभी.
कोई
चलिए,
नहीं है.
हमारे जाने का समय हो गया. We're going to see you on Saturday. That's the first
Sir,
game.
थोड़ा Japanese में बोलिए.
Oh, I can do for you, sir.
But नहीं, ऐसे उंगली रखो यहाँ पे. Sayonara.
I don't need to. I can do it like this without.
Then next lines. इठलाती और बल खाती.
नारियल की लड्डू. All right, लड्डू का डब्बा खुलेगा परसों. So meet us then. That's going to be at 7 p.m. We're going to see you Cricbuzz live in English and in Hindi. So do join us then. Yeah, we're looking forward to being here with you the entire season. So yes, that's all we have for you on our curtain raiser. It's time for us to go. Big thank you to Joy Bhattacharya and Harsha Bhogle. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Thank you.
Thank you.
Or as they say in my newly adopted country, arigato gozaimasu. Arigato gozaimasu. I'm Gaurav Kapur. Good night.
जयपुर वाया कोटा कृपया ध्यान हो अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವ ರೈಲನೆ
Hyderabad Punjab Express Bengaluru Station Netaji Obut.